What's up, fellas? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Saturday night. Black Man Travel podcast. Black Man Travel with an A. Don't want this to be confused with any other platform. But definitely, man, I got a lot of stuff to talk about. I got the energy. I'm not tired. I have my bottle of wine right here next to me, so I'm about to drink up and have a real talk conversation with you guys, man. If you guys want to join the conversation now, I just sent you guys the meeting link, man. Jump on now, man. Let's have this conversation, man, because I don't want this all to myself. But I definitely feel like we need to have this conversation because I literally on and off sat on a podcast for 5 hours where black men and black women are attacking each other because of the passport bro movement. There's a 5-hour live conversation happening right now as we speak, where black men and black women are literally going at each other because of black men traveling. The passport bro movement is picking up a lot of steam, and guess what? We're not slowing down. We're not. And the thing is, we're getting the younger generation up to speed. My 2 sons already traveling. My nephews, my nieces, they all have passports. This movement is not slowing down one bit. One bit. And the thing is, you should not give a flying fuck what people have to say or think and why you travel, where you travel, and how you live your life. Guys, I'm going to have a real conversation with you guys. Again, I literally sat on a live stream 5 hours where literally black women are bashing black men for traveling to certain countries, calling us all like some of the most despicable names you could even call somebody. Simply the fact that he wants to explore his options and just check out of the matrix. You literally got people in their feelings, men and women, and their feelings in these live broadcasts, cussing at each other, calling each other like names that you literally will probably get shot if you were to say that to someone's face or get punched in the face. And the thing is, black men, why do we need to stoop to that level? If you checked out, you checked out. What's the point of us going this back and forth conversation, joining these live streams just to prove a point? If you done, you're done. It's a waste of time, a waste of energy to try to prove somebody that already has a perception of you already, a negative perception at that, and why you travel, especially to a particular country. Why do you give a flying fuck? I want to know. Why do you care so much? If you done with the matrix, why you constantly feel the need you need to put yourself in these conversations or feel the need to go ahead and bash a black woman? If you done, you're done. What's the point of you? What's the point of us having this conversation? It doesn't make any sense at all. So I want to know right now, why do y'all care? If you're not dating sisters here in the States, you don't care to entertain anything in the States, why do you put so much time and energy toward this negative space where you constantly want to belittle someone or, go have these back and forth arguments that's not leading you nowhere? I've checked out 6 years ago. However, I still have a life here. Listen to me, guys. I checked out 6 years ago, but I still have a life here. My 2 sons are still here. I still get paid here. I still have a life here. Now, I'm not one of these YouTubers going to tell you to become a monk. I don't believe in that fuck shit. I'm cussing today, guys. I don't believe in that. I believe that you should still have a life here. If you want to go out to a concert, you want to go to a lounge, have a drink and smoke a cigar, you want to go out and do something, go ahead and do it. You still got to live between your travels. But if you're saying you're done with something, then you're done with it. Why constantly go back and forth and deal with the bullshit? This live stream is still going on, and literally you can hear the hurt from these callers, man. I had to chime in. I chimed in for a good 3 minutes and I bounced because I'm not giving these people that my energy like that. I was there to promote Black Man Travels, who we are, why we travel, and pretty much disprove any stereotype or perception that they may have of us. Let them know straight up, we travel because we are done. We're exploring our options. We want to live a better life. We're seeking peace. We're doing things outside of the US that is more greater than just having sex. People perception of Black men traveling is strictly for sex. That's what, like, honestly, when you tell someone you're traveling, the first perception of them is sex. We need to move away from that, guys. There are certain things that don't need to be said. Like, for me, I don't need to talk about sex because I'm getting it. Whenever I hear a dude talking about sex all the damn time, that means he's not getting it. I don't see nothing to brag about talking about sex, especially getting sex overseas. There's nothing new. All you doing is just smashing and keep it moving. Like, dudes bragging, want to compare notes and pictures and videos. Man, dude, what's the point of you doing that? You're doing something that is naturally given to us. But you feel the need to brag about it. Then you tell people about your business. And now people got this perception of you. You do stupid shit overseas. You record yourself doing the stupid shit overseas. Then all of a sudden, hey, they putting us down. Yeah, because we doing stupid shit overseas, recording it, telling people that it's not even part of our movement, and giving people a wrong perception of how we move. Dude, you're not a rich man. Why go to another country and try to throw dollars in the air? Bro, you know you need that damn dollar. Stop faking it. Here's the thing. I know rich men, and rich men don't do stupid shit like that. Or you feel the need that, you know what? I'm about to go to this third world country or to this whatever country and show out. So guess what? I'm going to take $100, change into ones, and make it rain and record myself. You stunt in front of a bunch of people that don't have any money. What kind of shit is that? Do you really want to stunt, dude? I'll take you to some places. I want you to stunt by these CEOs, these CFOs, the CIOs, CTOs. I want you to stunt in front of them. Don't go to a damn pro country and try to stunt on these people thinking like you're doing throwing some bunch of ones and recording yourself. Nigga, you a clown, dog. I know my boy Check Me, man. My boy Joseph in Chicago, man. He's an avid listener of this podcast. He sat me down. He's actually a motivational speaker. He believes in my platform, and he told me that, Kano, you have a great platform, but you cuss too much. He was like, Kano, and I heard the N-word. I was like, damn, yeah, my bad. I probably had a little bit too much to drink when I used the word, and I just used it just now. But fellas, man, why do we care? If you checked out, you checked out, man. You can still focus on grinding, focus on making that money, and start building your life overseas, man. If you're done with the States or done with the Matrix or done whatever, done with women, dude, stop talking about it. Now it's about you putting in work. You have all these YouTubers, all these platforms. That's all they talk about, 4 or 5 hours. And these guys are part of the tribal community. Why are you constantly talking about women, man? You should be giving these black men solutions. Like I did. I gave you guys a solution how to become a digital nomad. I gave you guys a solution how to take care of your health. Dude, I'm giving you guys a solution how to move properly. I'm not going to sit here and talk about fucking relationships every fucking minute. A relationship is the icing on the cake. Focus on your grind, focus on your purpose, and do you. I'm not going to sit on a damn live stream for 4 hours and just berate another group of women or just like paint this or blow smoke up your ass like you're high value. You should be treated better. No, dude, if you ain't about your, dude, if you're not making any moves, man, dude, then you're not high value. You know what? Fuck being high value, man. Just be a better man. Just be a better version of yourself. I never consider myself a high value, and I meet every qualifications of it. I'm a humble dude. I'm a humble dude that strive for the best. I wake up each day. How can I better myself? How can I become a better dad? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better brother? How can I be a better friend? That's what I'm on, man. I ain't trying to be no high value just to say I'm a high value guy. Look at me. You should appreciate me. You should be subservient to me. And that's another shit, man. A lot of you dudes are too caught up in this whole submission shit. How the fuck a woman is gonna go ahead and submit to you if you don't got your square together? I'm gonna say it again. How would someone submit to you if you don't have your square together? Okay, you done with women overseas. You done with women in the States, but you want to go overseas. You going to women overseas, they don't believe in that whole 50-50 bullshit. Oh, you gonna pay the light bill? You gonna pay the water bill? They don't believe in that. You are the man. You are responsible for everything. So if you're looking for that overseas wife or girlfriend, bruh, you are responsible for the entire bill. You want this high maintenance, beautiful woman as a 10 overseas? You better do whatever it took for you to get her to keep her. Again, you want this 10, you want this dime piece. You better do whatever it took for you to get her to keep her. The same rules applies in the US and overseas. Nothing changed. If you want a woman to be subservient to you, be a leader. Lead by example. Inspire her. Make her want to look at you like, man, wow, this is my man. Again, dude, look, a lot of people not gonna like me. I don't give a fuck. Look, I don't have a lot of subscribers. I don't have a lot of viewers. I don't, because I speak the real. I'm not gonna be speaking to you guys blowing smoke up your ass, selling you a false dream that most of these other guys are talking about. Nah. I'm not gonna be staying in these countries with no fucking receipts. Like, how the fuck you live in these countries, but yet you show no content? You sit your ass front of a damn YouTuber and just do videos all day, live streams, but there's no content coming from these countries. Yo, that's not me. If I'm going somewhere, I'm gonna give you guys content. I'm gonna give you guys the truth. I'm gonna let you guys know the real deal. I'm not gonna try to sell you a consultation on how to fucking travel. Nigga, you can find that shit online. It ain't that hard. Look, guys, I just booked a ticket just 20 minutes ago to Thailand. I'm taking my first trip to Thailand. And guess how much I paid? I paid $1,116. I'll be in Thailand in November for 2 weeks, visiting 4 cities: Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Phuket, and Pattaya. And guess what? I don't need no one consultation to go to Thailand. I can just go to YouTube. I can go to TripAdvisor. I can find all the information I need, do my research. Then once I get there, have my put my plan into action. And guess what? Women is the last thing in my mind. I want to go out there. I want to see the monks. I want to see the temples. I want to see everything. Women is the last thing in my mind. I want to make sure that I have enough content for you guys. So guess what? When I come back home, I could give you guys the true 411. So you don't have to reach out to anybody for no damn consultation. I'm gonna tell you, okay, you in Bangkok, check this spot here. Go here. This is what you need to know. Okay, you going to Phuket? All right, check out this spot here. You're gonna do this spot there. Look, I'm not a YouTuber. I want to make this clear to y'all. I'm not a YouTuber. I have no desire to become a YouTuber. To be honest, being a YouTuber is quite difficult and time consuming. I don't have time for that. But guess what? I'm a content creator. I have multiple platforms. YouTube is just one of my platforms. I have a website. I have Instagram. I have a Facebook group. So really, all I want to do is just pass the baton to the next generation of brothers, or inspire the next man that never pick, that doesn't have a passport to get his passport and travel and see the world. There's a lot to see and do out there. But guys, if you done with the States, you done with black women, There's no need for you to continue to talk about it and dwell on it, man. That's just a lot of waste of energy and time and space. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not part of no manosphere. I'm not part of that shit. Am I part of the Passport Bros? Yeah, I'm part of that. But manosphere shit, look, I'm not part of that. I just want to be a good dude, be a stand-up citizen, contribute, and keep it moving. So, there's a lot, man. Submission to these Negroes look like she cooked me some fried chicken and greens in Colombia. Bro, Marty, if you could jump online, man, jump online, Marty, man. Come on, jump online, Marty. I want to have this real conversation because this whole submission shit is totally getting out of hand. It's totally getting out of hand. It's like everybody want a submissive woman. I'm looking at the guy like, yo, dude, you don't even got your shit together. How do you expect the woman to submit to you? Like you didn't even prove your leadership role. You didn't prove nothing to her, but yet you expect her to submit to you. There's this one YouTuber, man. I'm not gonna put him on blast, but I kind of got on this stream one time a few months ago. This dude was so stuck on wanting the woman to be submissive. He was so stuck on this shit, and I kept like, damn, okay, I'm talking about South Africa, and I'm like, man, okay, I'm giving guys tips and tricks where to go, what you should do, how things are. But this dude was stuck on stupid on submission. He just kept going back to that. Got to the point I got a little frustrated during the live. Man, I'm like, yo, bro, like I'm not on that. Look, I carry my weight, she carry her weight, man. That's the environment that I came from, man. We both play our role at the same time. You know what your role as a lady. I know my role as a man. But this guy was so stuck on, oh, the women overseas are so submissive. They're very submissive. She got to submit to you. I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, you got to prove your worth to her and why she should submit to you. Now, granted, here in the States, we got shit totally backwards, man. We got shit totally backwards. But at the same time, I see how, the immigrants that come here to this country, the guys is probably selling oranges on the street. But guess what? His wife is right next to him. She's supporting him. She's doing what she need to do to help feed the kids. Dude, I'm first generation, Haitian American here. I didn't come from a silver spoon. We used to shop at Goodwill for school clothes, man. I'm not ashamed of that. That made me who I am. But guess what? That man proved to this woman that, listen, you submit to me, I take care of the family. You take care of me, I take care of everybody. That's the mindset you gotta have. Don't be so fucking caught up on stupid on just, oh, she gotta submit. They're very submissive. Most of these dudes that say this stupid shit don't even be in a relationship with these girls overseas. Let's just keep it real. Most of these dudes that go overseas talking all this submission shit, they don't fuck with regular women. They fuck with pros. I'm keeping the buck. And guess what? Any dude that got has an issue in what I said, yo, tag me. I'll jump on your live and I go against you. I don't care. And I'm not doing it for likes and I'm not doing it for subscriptions. Again, I'm not a YouTuber. So I want that smoke, man. I'm calling out any YouTuber. You want to put me on blast? Hey, put me on blast. I'll jump on your live stream and we could talk this, because what you teaching the younger guys and these guys that are ill-informed, not real information. I'm going in, man. Sorry about guys. Okay, Marty, been there like 5 years with no tourist sites visited. What brother's really doing overseas? Let me get Marty and Big H the Traveler on, have this conversation. Hey, what's up, Marty?
What's going on, Kano? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man.
You cooking tonight?
Hey, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. It's just like,
oh man.
It's just the
truth has
lies.
to be told, man.
It's the lies that's getting me, man.
Yeah.
It's just.
And I love the space so much and what you guys doing. I just hate to see kind of misrepresentations be perpetuated. And then our reputation is just dangled out there, and people just pick us apart because brothers are not being truthful, man. And it's I hate to say it, man. It's a couple brothers at the top where I'm starting to question, like, all right, bro, you've been pushing the submissive stuff for a minute. You never show any receipts. What you've been?
Oh my God! Stop it, Marty! Come on, Marty! It's too early for this, man. Stop it.
Yeah, man. I got to go there, man. I got to bring the sword tonight, man, because it's just like, dude, you don't speak any foreign languages. Like, what the fuck have you been doing for the last 5 years, man? Like, what's really going on? Like, we're supposed to lead by example for the younger brothers. How the heck are we not growing? And we've been overseas for a number of years. We you know, you're not buying any property. You're not even visiting tourist sites to show.
Stop.
It's just like,
stop.
Bro, is this a hustle for you? Like
stop. Oh no! Stop it! Stop! Damn, you know what? I need to get a fucking sound machine, man. I'm this weekend. I'm gonna go find me one. Fuck it. It is what it is. Because that what you just said is all bombs. Bomb. That's the thing, man. It's just like I don't see receipts from these guys, man. All I see you sitting on your desk, talking, giving all these so-called outdated tips. Again, most of these places that you probably been to, you know, they're outdated. A lot has changed since COVID. And it's just like, you know, you want to claim this expert thing, but yet you're leading men in the wrong direction. And this whole submissive thing, it's just getting a little out of hand.
Yeah, I'm so sick of that damn word. And what brothers have been talking about is the stupidest shit, like, oh, she rubs my back at night. And it's just like, dude, okay, that's nice. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, bro, that's just cultural, man. You're not necessarily special. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would do that to any man they were with, whether it be a native Thai dude or whatever. Like, that's not really saying much, you know? And it's just like, brothers get caught up in the stupid shit. It's like, I want brothers to grow, develop, you know, set up stuff economically, better their situations beyond what they were getting in the States. And we still talk about the women all the time, man. Like, hey, where's the growth?
And that's the thing, man. It's like, these are the same guys I sat back in the scene and just watched. And it's just like, wow, the same talking points. And it just get to the point where, okay, now you've lived there and I'm still not seeing anything different. And also, too, it's just like,
I actually heard a brother say that when he's overseas, he specifically looks for the dusty and broke chicks. He likes the hood chicks. Now, I'm like, what kind of message is that to send to the younger brothers, man? I mean, don't project your low self-esteem on the whole group. I want my brothers to get the dimes in the other country. You know, build themselves up in a position where the dimes seek them out. And he talking about going dumpster diving in another country, man. It's like, come on, dude. Like, this thing, you gotta. If you're in a leadership position, you got to be responsible, man. You got to lead by example, man. We can't play sacred cows with this, man. This is a great opportunity for brothers to escape their situation and better themselves. You know, be number one for a change.
And this is why black women have this perception of us while overseas, because cats like him are broadcasting that fuckery. And now with social media, TikTok, and everything else, dude, there's so much receipt on us doing stupid shit overseas. It's ridiculous, man. It's just like, sometimes you can't say.
A brother who got on the page. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, it was interesting because I caught a live today, and the brother was talking about how he got robbed. And
oh my God,
I felt bad for the dude.
I was laughing, dog,
because it was like, damn, you know what happened to all this submissive? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's supposed to be the black utopia over there. Brothers ain't telling the whole story, man.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, you said you've been to 45 countries, but yet you put yourself in a position to get drugged. Then you end up calling the girl the next day and have a conversation with them that you want to see them again. That's what he said. That's what he fucking said. Like, I want to see you again. This bitch just
stuff.
drugged your ass
Just pure clown.
and was trying to rob you. The security downstairs prevented that. And that's why I always tell guys, stay in a place where there's security and tip your security. Pay them. Because that person may be your lifeline from getting robbed or killed overseas.
All this to be alleviated. I know. Well, a lot of this could be alleviated if you take an effort to learn the language and meet some regular chicks for a change. I mean, now I could see, a weekend warrior, a guy just trying to get over a breakup or whatever, first couple times go back or whatever, but it's like, at some point, dude, like, try and meet some regular chicks, because 9 times out of 10, regular chicks are not the ones setting your ass up to be robbed. I don't have stats on that, but I've been living for 40 years. I would think that would be somewhat accurate.
I think it's somewhat accurate. I think the reason why you have a lot of guys, a lot of veterans in the game that's not promoting that. If anything, they're shaming guys for like finding relationships or creating relationships. Like they're shaming these guys that, why are you going to do that? Just go ahead.
What makes me wonder if they're deficient at getting women. I'm like, because, I mean, you should be able to say that pretty comfortably. I mean, that seems like common sense to me. Like, you're not just going to deal with pay for play for the rest of your life, I hope. Where you have to pay for every relationship.
Marty, you'd be amazed, man.
Huh?
Last Sunday, I followed this YouTuber, Barber TV, Zoe International. I met Zoe in DR. He's a cool dude, man. I love his content. I really do love his content. And also I bumped into Zoe in Brazil, in Rio. I bumped into Zoe in Rio. We met up in Baja Tijuca. Yeah, we were at the damn VIP partying together. So I met him. He's a cool guy, man. Last Sunday he made a video about he's getting tired of guys asking him about, how the women are, do they love black men and whatever. And he's like kind of said, like, if you have to constantly ask that question, do you love yourself? Why are you concerned with whether or not someone likes you or not? And dude, I'm like,
question, they're like, that's the lamest.
Yeah, he gets asked that so much that he got to the point that he created a damn video about it. It's like, listen, dude, brothers, work on yourself. I mean, that's pretty much what he said. Just work on yourself. Stop worrying about people you don't know to like you, and focus on the people that you do know to like you. Like, your biggest concern should be whether or not your mother, your sister, your family likes you, not a random stranger overseas.
And are you a likable person? That's what you should be asking yourself.
And now, hey, this is a perfect segue to our topic of tonight. Wow, we're going to actually lead on to the topic of the night, which is avoid the angry black man while overseas. I know you guys met a lot of these type of guys before. I met a shitload of type of guys like this. When I do, I run away. Avoid the angry black men overseas. There's a lot of black men that are angry with passports. And you can sense it when you talk to them, because all they do is just bitch. They just bitch about every little damn thing. And the thing is, you could be surrounded by 100 beautiful women. They're going to find something to bitch about. They walk around with a chip on their shoulder. Even overseas, it's beautiful food, women, ocean, sand, everything is like, chill. They're still mad about something. These are the ones that get into fights with locals. I know, Marty, I know you came across some of these guys. And
I've seen it all the time, man. I've even seen like groups of American brothers pass us up. It's still no eye contact, no what's up, nothing, man. It's like they're just not happy. Nobody would want to be around them, man. That's the whole thing. You should be able to go to like Uzbekistan if you're a good dude, and you'll be able to have some chicks attracted to you and want to buy it with you, even if you don't speak the same language. If you're a good dude. If
But
you're respectful, if you're
the key word is if. The key word is if. And just because you left your block with whatever fuck shit you going through in your city block doesn't mean you have to bring it with you overseas, because guess what? You're gonna run across the wrong one and you may not come back home. I've seen this too many times, especially in DR. Dudes walking around with a chip on their shoulder, mean mugging at the club, arguing with the locals, like just ready to start fights. Like, this is not your country. For you to act like a clown and be mad about everything, dude, you're just a walking time bomb, which you're gonna get checked in due time. And I've seen a lot of these guys, especially when I go to DR. I meet a lot of these guys, and I run away from them when they start bashing people. Again, you start bashing black women, dude. We're in DR, we're in Colombia, we're in Brazil. Why are they even in the conversation right now? Look around us. We're at the beach, man. I'm in Brazil, man. This dude pissed. This dude stayed mad, wearing his damn dark shades. I'm like, dude, we're at the beach. These girls are wearing thongs. Thongs. Dude, I'm drinking my Capriana. I'm feeling nice. This dude's bitching. And I'm like, man, I got to get away from this dude, man. And everything was just negative. Even like you go out party, the girls he meet up, something negative. I'm like, guys, when you come across a man like this, you run. When I say run, run.
Oh yeah, the horrible wingman. Those are like the worst people, man. It's like they'll see you getting ahead with a chick, and then they'll want to, like, you could set them up with a chick that's better than yours, but if she don't give him exactly what she wants, he's gonna make sure he sabotages not only his night but your night too, so nobody gets anything. Is that kind of like an example of what you're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, these are the type of guys they just find anything to actually be mad about. And the thing is, they want you to agree on why they're mad. And it's just like, okay, the main reason why you left the States or whatever situation that you're in is to get away and just check out mentally or emotionally. But a lot of people don't do that, so they bring it with them. And I know for a fact women probably experience this as well in their groups. They have one angry woman in the girls' trip that's going to ruin it for everybody.
Right. And I can't travel with everybody, man. I seriously, I got like old friends that I can't travel with because I just know their mindset, man. Every person is not for every situation.
Yeah, I have. Hey, man, Marty. We're gonna actually add someone. It's a young lady. You mind having a conversation?
Certainly.
All right. Hey, well, love, this is different. Okay.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing, Jemiah?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, Marty, Jemiah, Marty.
Hi, Marty.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
I just like to step in and hear. Y'all's conversation.
Nah, go ahead. I mean,
and a little masculine mindset to see what's going on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This is you are my first lady guest. Normally, this is an all man platform, but I saw you jumped on. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So just want I guess I'm a little nervous already. Shit, I'm like tongue flipping. Well, right now we're talking about there was a live. Okay, Jemiah, I want to get your take, and I know we got guys listening, so I want to get your take on this. There was a live stream about black men traveling overseas and how black women have an issue with black men traveling, and they felt like black men are bashing black women, comparing them to women overseas and everything else. What are your take on that? What are your take on black men traveling overseas, checking out and exploring their option overseas? Just be honest, truthful as much as possible.
Well, I mean, you know me personally and you know my thoughts on that. So
yeah.
I think anyone should be able to have free will and do exactly what it is that they want to do. Even being in a relationship. I think everything is about transparency and clarity. As long as you two got an understanding on how you're going to treat each other, what your limits are, and just really sharing your mindset and being authentically you. I think that's the most important thing. So
what? Okay, so what about you had a boyfriend, right? You got your man, and he said, "Hey, babe, I'm going to Brazil, or I'm going to Colombia, I'm going to DR." How would you feel about that?
I mean, I want to know how long you're going to go. I want to know who you're going to be with. And I mean, whatever it is that you do while you're there, I want to make sure that you're happy, you're enjoying yourself, and you're able to look at yourself in the mirror after doing whatever it is that you've been doing while you're there. And just be safe. I mean, protect yourself, and don't bring me back no shit, no diseases, or whatever the fuck it is that you're doing over there. Just respect yourself and respect me while you're gone.
Okay. Marty, your take based on her response?
Well, I think that's actually surprising. That commend you for being so secure in understanding of your man's need to go travel to a country like that, knowing kind of what goes on. That's pretty cool. Me personally, like in future relationships, I hope we can like nurture each other enough to where like we don't have to go on these individual trips. Because I kind of look at it as I might as well still be single, and
Right.
that's just me. Like, and I've done a lot of dirt in my past, so like I'm just trying to be like real straight up with whoever I'm with next. I just kind of want to like be on the level with them and just be like, hey, either I'm out here or I'm with you, one or the other. It's not going to be like in between. And I'm not even suggesting that just the man goes there. It's going to be.
We're kind of losing you, Marty.
Pretty cool. I mean, that actually surprised me. So.
Well, this is my thing.
Sorry,
what is the purpose? What is the purpose? Because
no, I was just saying that that actually surprised me a little bit. So, and I think that's pretty cool. Like, if you guys are at a place where you fully trust each other to that level, I mean, I think that's pretty nice.
Well, someone asked me the other day, it was a group of women, we were all talking, and a lot of Black women at that are saying that they're not able to date successfully here because so many men are traveling overseas now. They're not really interested in women here. So, I mean, I think that's a topic that you should touch on too, Kanal.
I mean, when you heard this conversation, so what was your take on that?
Well, Marty just said that, eventually he wants a relationship as to where he would be able to travel with his significant other.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, has that been an issue where, you can't find anybody that wants to do that with you? What is the purpose of your travel? Is it just an escape? Are you looking for companionship? Are you looking for a relationship?
You know what? That's a good question. I mean, for me, like, I love to take a trip with my girls. Like, all right, let's go somewhere to have a good time. But also, I do like to travel alone and have my escape, like have my own me time. If she needs to have her own me time as well, I totally understand that because I need that. So if she would have said, "Hey, babe, I'm going to Jamaica,"
Right.
I'll be like, "Hey, you know what? Hey, enjoy yourself. Don't do anything stupid." It's just like it's the same thing for me. If I tell, "Hey, babe, I'm going to Brazil. I'm going to Colombia," it's like, "All right, you trust me enough. Like, I'm not going to do anything that's going to fuck up our situation that we have now." So,
but are all the travels sex seeking, or is it just for?
Well, I mean,
absolutely
okay.
Not.
No, it's not. It's not. But the thing is, some people insecurities, they assume that because they're not there, they assume that you out there, chasing after another woman, or in your case, another man. Because there's a lot of men out here that do have insecure issues. But if I was to say, hey, like for instance, I'm going to Thailand. I've never been to Asia, and it's like you can't go, but doesn't mean I can't go.
Right.
So I want to go. I wouldn't want my girl to tell me like, "Oh, you can't go because I can't go." If she tells me that, I'm gonna go anyway. That's just my personality. It's like, okay, you tell me not to do something, I'm gonna do it. But if you
Well,
tell me,
I mean, I don't think you should date anyone that tells tell a grown man
I've
he
been
can't go
traveling.
somewhere.
but Jemiah, but the thing is, you'd be amazed. There are a lot of people who are currently in that type of relationship. Let's be honest.
Yep.
Well, I feel very bad for them.
You're different.
And the thing about that is they've got to wait until they retire at 60-something years old to finally start traveling.
I'm not trying to do that.
Well, what good are you at that age? I mean, you can barely go up the stairs of like Florence, Italy. You can't even hold your urine. Shit. You gotta let's keep it real, guys. Right.
We're gonna get that age. It's like, hey, I gotta go.
Exactly. You're incontinent. So I don't know. I mean, I've been traveling since I was probably in my teens. So I've always liked to see the stuff that I studied in school. And of course, I've had some fun trips with the guys. Definitely dealt with girls and all that. But to me, it's much more than that. Like, I was just in Europe a couple weeks ago, and I made sure I did some tours, and I made sure I, hung out with a couple ladies and stuff. But I like meeting women from different places, not just America. I've always kind of liked open options. But to me, I've seen enough stuff individually to where it's like it'd be kind of cool to like go to Ibiza with a girlfriend, something like that. I would not feel like they cramp my style like that, because there are some vacations where it is kind of more time and place. Like I would not go to Bora Bora by myself.
No,
it's just
that's what, Marty. That's one of the few places I have like certain places that I would not go by myself or with a bunch of guys. Bora Bora is like, yo, that's you and your girl.
That's definitely a vacation.
Yeah. There's certain places like, you know what? Nah, I gotta take a shorty with me. This ain't gonna be a guy's trip or
relationship. I was gonna say, if I'm in a committed relationship and she's giving me everything I'm looking for, I don't feel like I necessarily need to go anywhere by myself. But I've gotten so much out of my system to where I'm at that point. I didn't get married at age 22, and a woman just totally cut off all my access to trips with my boys and stuff. Like a lot of my friends, situation they're in right now, and they're literally like trying to just hold on to the last string of manhood. It's like they have no freedom of movement.
Jemiah, what are your thoughts on that? Like women who are so stronghold on their man where their man can't do anything without them.
Well, you know me, I can't relate to that because I just think that we've been raised in a fairy tale society. I've actually been doing some research on where monogamy started because, I mean, to me, it doesn't exist. In a lot of situations and with a lot of people in general. I think there's a nature in men that women don't necessarily understand. I mean, I could go on and on about that. That's one of those complex things. I'm not that type of woman. I don't know how to be that type of woman, so I really can't relate. But I mean, a lot of that is insecurities. A lot of that has to do with wanting control. A woman feeling like she possesses that man. Like it's mine. He's mine. And I'm not sharing him.
Hey, can I veer off topic for 1 second? Because I just thought about this. Now, I know the topic is angry black man while overseas, but I was just thinking about an incident where I was in Cancun with the female on a date, attractive Colombian chick. In this table full of sisters, man, the daggers they were staring at us were so vicious, man. And it's like, is there such thing as the angry black woman overseas too?
I would say so because that goes back to what I said. I was having a conversation not too long ago about women saying that they haven't been able to successfully date here because all of the men are going overseas. And black
But
women,
sisters are overseas too. Sisters got their pants. Sisters be moving out.
I mean, I believe you, but I think we lost Marty.
I
Did we
think
lose
both
him?
of us have a lot of. No, I can't hear you. Go ahead.
You were going in and out.
Okay, I'm gonna try and come closer to the mic. I
Hey
just think
guys,
that a lot
hey
of.
guys,
I think.
I'm going to step
Oh,
away a
go
little
ahead.
bit. You guys continue the conversation.
I'm listening, Marty.
Okay, I was just gonna say real quickly that I think both of us have. I'm talking about both groups have some resentments that we take to inappropriate places. Like we're both out of the country. Why
Right.
can't we just enjoy where we're at and leave them damn tensions at home? You know what I'm saying? Like it was just wild because it was like I was trying to what's up room and they was just man cut eyes. It's just like this girl actually looked like one of y'all. She was an Afro-Colombian chick. But she didn't say a word out of her mouth around them, so they didn't know. But I guess they did know, and that's why I had to cut eyes. But it was deep. It was really deep. It was like I don't know. I just feel like we have a lot of toxic.
How did those group of women look? Like, were they appealing to the eye? Were they overweight?
Yeah, there were some big girls. There was definitely
Well,
some big girls.
there you
But
have
they had
it.
their nails and stuff done. I mean, you probably couldn't tell them nothing, you know.
Well, see,
But
I have an issue with that. I see that a lot. I see a lot of these women, they have Mercedes Benzes, they have BMWs, they ride in Range Rovers, they got on these 600, 700, $900 wigs, eyelashes, but you're out of shape and overweight.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Like, why are you not putting $900 into going to get a trainer or a gym membership or a boxing membership or something? Like, you have poor skin, poor hygiene. Like, go take care of yourself. Like, that wig and shit is a cover up.
But do you know what that really is, though? It's I'm sorry that I'm butting in, but
No,
um,
welcome.
it just seems as if like the attitude behind that is that somebody gonna want it. Somebody's gonna come through at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Hey
So
guys, one thing, Jemiah, you're gonna get a lot of questions. Like, are you fully
I'm
prepared to answer some
ready.
questions?
I'm
Hey
ready. I'm
guys,
listening.
I'm telling you guys, let it loose, man. You ready, Jemiah?
I'm ready. I'm listening.
All right, guys, go for
yeah,
it.
So I mean, yeah, like I was saying, it's just that you have so many guys. Like the attitude is that somebody's gonna want it. Somebody's gonna take them just how they are, and you have so many avenues and so many things in the media that's saying that you're fine just the way you are, no matter if you're dying. Doesn't matter if you are on the brink of a heart attack. If you take another brunch, you're probably going to keel over. Yeah, so
well,
much
here's the
is.
thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother.
Somebody does like them, and the reason why I know is because you can go to any mall in a big city, and you will see these big water buffalo with strollers and children behind them. So somebody's screwing these women. You know what I'm saying? It's never, but somebody is coming through in the midnight and giving them what they want. So in their mind, they're like, and maybe their self-esteem is so low, they think like, oh, okay, well, I'm chosen. You can't tell me
Well,
nothing.
guess what? The man's self-esteem is just as low.
I will never argue that. You're right.
It goes, so it's
And
one
that's
of those things that goes both ways.
Well, that's what gets me so irate when we have brothers in our own community talking about, well, when I go overseas, find me the ratchet ones and find me the dust. I'm like, no, brother, that's exactly what we don't need to do. We need to leave that shit back in the matrix. Otherwise, just stay in Atlanta. Stay in,
Yeah, well,
stay in Florida, wherever the hell you from.
I said this to Kanal, like, I think I'm an attractive woman. And
Guys, I'm gonna tell you this. She is very attractive. Extremely.
And I'm in Atlanta and I'm like, Kanal, what's wrong with me? Like, I see all these nice looking men with these fat ass women. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, it kind of plays takes a toll on your psyche. Like, why would a man who appears to be, taking care of himself, he has muscles, he's fit, he's clean cut, and then you look behind him, or you try to make eyes with them to say, like, hey, what's up, and you look to the left, and it's like, what are you doing with that?
Hey, have you read that book by Reginald Lewis? Why do white guys get to have all the fun, or something like that? He was one of the first black billionaires.
Yeah,
and that was his whole premise.
I'm gonna take a look into that. And then it's the same thing. So rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. I was saying to someone, I feel like there's a lot of toxic positivity going on over the internet at this moment. It's just a plethora of information that's just being exchanged between too many people at such a fast rate. You have some people that's not necessarily sane. You don't have people that's able to honestly relate due to cultural purposes. Even a lot of these overweight guys with money, quote unquote high value men, like, just because you have money, that doesn't necessarily mean you deserve a beautiful woman. Or that doesn't necessarily mean that you're deserving of sex. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're easy to love or easy to care for. Because if I'm a woman that's in shape and you're overweight, I want to push you to say, okay, listen, you have to get healthy in order to be with me.
Your flying is
who has time for all that?
Wait, guys. We have
all due respect.
You said what?
No, I was just gonna say, who has time for that?
Who has time for what?
To try and coach someone to be in the shape to be with them.
Yeah, but I thought that's what relationships were about. Is about building each other up and making a connection, and being there for somebody when they're not necessarily the best of themselves.
Well, I think that's the nurturing side coming out.
Okay.
Because you are a woman, you're more nurturing. But I think guys are more black and white about it. It's like
I think so.
This is really interesting. We have another guest. You're flying this, mister?
We're not.
Yo, sorry, I was on the phone with some people down south going over some notes that I took from the last stream.
Okay.
And I had to get their opinion on it. So.
Okay. Hey, definitely welcome to the live chat, man.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. We just having open conversation. I actually started off my conversation based on that live stream.
Yeah.
And how literally, Jemiah, I just want to give you a little history about this live stream that went on for like 5 hours. Black men and black women were literally going at each other. And why black men are traveling, and the bashing of black women, and it's not really the case. It's a small minority of guys that's doing that, but they assume that every guy that's traveling overseas is traveling for sex. So a lot of the calls go ahead.
It seemingly comes off that way, but okay. I honestly believe that black people, black men and black women, we have some seriously deep-rooted issues that needs to be addressed on both ends. A lot of our families are fatherless. Some of our families are motherless. Some of our grandparents raised us. Some of us come from parents in an era where there was drug abuse. Men coming from, you know, their moms raising them. That's all that they had. No male figure. Um, and I think that's where a lot of the anger is derived from.
So Max, it is. Do you think black women care about black men going overseas and exploring their options?
Yeah, they do care because I mean it's an issue. I mean, no black woman really wants to see a black man with a Latin woman. I mean, that's just being straight up.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to self-check myself. Like, you know, if I see a white girl with a nice black man, or, you know, it's just one of those things where you look at them like, well, why is she deserving of him? Like, you know, why can't I have that? Why can't I be with someone like that? That's the first thought that a black woman has when we see them with you guys.
See, you guys never ask the questions. You guys never ask us what made us go outside of our race. And sometimes I wonder if you guys even care. It's just like this spoiled brat mentality. Like, I like that ball. I want that ball. It's just like, it's no like cause and effect as to what that brother may be missing to make him.
Well, we were never taught to ask. We were never taught to ask those questions.
That's the problem. That is the number one problem.
We were never taught to act. I am just now, I'm going to say over the past 8 years, I'm just now becoming more aware of the things that men need. And that's because I am friends with, I talk to a lot of men. I really don't, I don't even associate myself with too many black women because of the anger. My closest relationships are with non-black women. I've never gotten along with black women my entire life, from elementary school, even as an adult. I don't get along with black women.
Well, here's the thing. I think, because I've heard this in the past, like a lot of sisters think if I just give him some good sex, or I got this magic coochie, that's all he needs. The black man is just that simple-minded that's all he requires. And you know, guys like me, guys like, I know Kano's a very intelligent brother. I know he needs more dimensions than that.
Of course.
Operation. He needs the intellectual energy between him and his woman. Values, you know, common values. It's much more than just the sex. But I think a lot of sisters think if I just slap this BBL on me and put this yaki in and these eyelashes, that's enough for him. That's all he requires.
Well, honestly, I'm gonna say this whole BBL era, I don't even understand what that's about. I think that black women are competing with Latin women because, Latin women are sexy. Latin women, a lot of Caribbean women, they come from a very sexy culture. So, as you age and as you get older, it is expected for you to keep up with your body, to keep your man aesthetically driven, keep your sexiness. So,
but I think there's more to it than that, than just the physical. I think
and that too, but a lot of women sadly associate sex and emotion because that's just the way that we're built. So if I do give him this sex, if I am arousing him, if I am keeping his company this way, this is the extreme that I'm going to go to just to keep that. Even a lot of those women have to go under like a psychiatric evaluation. They should before they do that. That's almost like somebody getting a gastric bypass or a sleeve. Most of those women that do that, they become even more promiscuous and they're used even more as a tool.
Exactly.
And I don't think they understand that that's what comes with that.
I think what... Go ahead.
No. Go for it. I'm sorry.
As somebody that's been divorced from a woman that actually had that gastric bypass and dealing with the aftermath after that, it just only intensified the personality of what that person already had. Mm-hmm. Like how these BBLs only intensified the level of, just the bad character. It's just like, oh, I'm sexy now. Let me just be even more a bad person, because
Right.
I'm gonna find a man that's gonna want to have sex with me. He's gonna go ahead and deal with all the bullshit that I'm gonna put him through, but he wants the sex. And what the disconnect is that what we're asking of our women is that, look, listen, sex isn't everything for us. I know y'all think that way, and yes, we, naturally that's what we want to procreate. So that's what one of the driving forces. But sometimes what we will prefer more than sex is peace and quiet.
But that's what you say. But that's how we perceive it, and sadly, women are used for sex.
I have a question to ask. What is the infatuation with BBLs?
I don't know, because I don't have one. I've been called Caucasian my entire life, so I don't know.
Yeah, because like the average Brazilian doesn't have a BBL surgery.
So do you think that comes from like the porn sites, like, BBL, big Brazilian, or
But BBL stands for Brazilian butt lift. But
right.
If you look at the genetics of a Brazilian, they get the booty from the indigenous side. The Brazilians will tell you that. So that's where that mix of the Portuguese, the black, and the indigenous, that you'll see a lot of people that look more indigenous, they'll have like a bigger butt, especially as they get older. So I'm confused at why women would think that BBL is something that's going to attract a man for a lifelong commitment.
Because of what social media says, because of what is being posted, what's on Instagram,
yeah, I think there's
the
a
most
group
likes.
of simps.
Possibly.
Yeah, my ex went out and got one at 48 years old, man. Can you believe that shit?
I know another girl. She turned 40 and she got one. It's like, you haven't had any ass and hips. You're 40. Like, I don't know what lifespan is. What, 80 years old now? Like, you got a couple more years to go, and you decide at 40 to take a risk. And
it's all to compete with the younger women and to try to. And again, it's all a mental problem. If you ask me. It's where, okay, I'm older. I'm going to still try to compete with these younger women that these men are gravitating to, that they are in their DMs or what have you. Not changing myself, but just changing my body with the perception is that that's all men want.
What happened to, 40-some-year-old women being elegant and graceful and class? I think that's sexier than some old woman with a big ass on her. I mean, that looks retarded to me.
But did you see Mary J. Blige at her at the Billboard Awards, where she said, she's always been ghetto fabulous, and it was frowned upon, but now everybody wants to be ghetto fabulous, like it's approved now. And then you have social media. I mean, I don't know if you heard me earlier on. It's just too much information being spreaded too fast. And then you got Housewives of Atlanta, you got Bad Girls Club, you got Jocelyn's Cabaret, where there's 30 and 40-year-old women fighting.
And that's toxic.
Hey guys, I want to take a moment to welcome Pablo.
Talk about TikTok. I mean,
hey Pablo, how are you, man?
Hey Pablo.
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
Nothing much, man. This is the conversation's kind of changed once Jemiah joined the conversation, so it's an open forum, man. Anything you want to talk about? She's more than happy to respond.
Yeah, I've been listening for the past 5 minutes, I guess.
Okay.
I am in my car, so please excuse if you hear any, like background noise or whatever.
That's all good. It's all good.
But I, to the young lady that's on the panel, I would like to give you my analogy that I've been using with the guys, and they seem to definitely understand my analogy. So, have you ever been to Popeye's Chicken? To a Popeye?
Of course.
You have. Okay. Have you ever been to Chick-fil-A?
I have.
Okay. So you and I, we want chicken, right? Both Popeyes and Chick-fil-A serve chicken. We go to a Popeyes and the line is long. It can be a bit disorganized. We get to the front to place our order. The person who takes our order is rude. They give bad customer service. Some of what we want is not ready or not prepared, or they don't have it. We get our order after a long wait, and we hastily go out the door and get into our car, only to realize that our order is wrong. Now, a few weeks pass by. We decide we want chicken again, only this time we go to Chick-fil-A. We go to the Chick-fil-A and we're greeted with a smile. They take our order. They say thank you. The line moved quickly, even though it was a very long line. It moved quickly and orderly. We get to the end to pick up our food, and we get our food and the food is correct. Or even if the food isn't correct, it wasn't perfect every time we got it. Even if it wasn't perfect every time we got it, we leave the Chick-fil-A feeling like the experience was still a pleasant experience. That is the difference Black men feel internationally versus domestically. We enjoy the experience better. They say, oh, well, you can get that here. You can get chicken at Popeyes, but you don't get the same experience you get at Chick-fil-A.
So I believe Marty mentioned earlier why we don't ask Black men why they travel outside of the country for these experiences. What is it that you're experiencing overseas that you're not experiencing here?
Did you just hear me? Did you just hear the analogy? Have you ever experienced that level of service?
Right. So are you saying that you're not being serviced here
Yes.
the way that you would like to be serviced as you
Yes.
are there?
Yes.
Okay, so where do you believe the breakdown in that is?
The breakdown is Black women feel they are better than Black men. In their core, they believe they're better than you.
I've heard this. I've somewhat seen this. And I hear what you're saying, and I'm trying to digest that because I really don't. I think that's a true feeling.
You might not, but many do. They feel it's lowering themselves to serve a man.
But I mean, I've been in situations where I have served a man, and I mean fully served a man.
It's not about, but you're thinking about, okay, me, the individual, and an individual man. What we experience abroad is a culture of that serves men. That's the difference between an individual woman who with an individual man and then going to a culture that serves men. It's a big difference. Here, if you go on a date with a woman, ask the woman to cook for you, she'll look at you like you got a third eye on the middle of your forehead. My wife cooked my first meal on our second date.
But a lot of these women don't know how to cook.
Well, see, but that's a them problem. You understand what I'm saying? You can give us reasons why. You can give me the reason why, but at the end of the day, I'm a man and I want that. I want that service, and if I don't get it, I will go somewhere to get it.
So, with that being said, and I'm just digesting everything. You're being very direct, and I really like this, and I really appreciate it. So if this woman doesn't know how to cook, that makes her less than. Am I right?
If she doesn't, it means I'm going somewhere else to get the service I want.
Okay.
Now that's you can say it's because of this reason and that reason and the other reason, but at the end of the day, men who have the means and the ability, there will always be a group of black men who will stay right here. They're gonna deal with American black women. They ain't gonna know the difference.
Well, I mean,
But for the guys who have the means, and here's another twist. I hear the conversations and they act like black women just accept all of these men. They don't. Many men are nuclear rejected by black women. So it's not like, oh, come black men, we're inviting and accepting, and no, that's not what's happening.
It is happening. It is happening.
A lot of the travel guys that I know, that they've been nuclear rejected in this country.
And I'm just saying this, speaking on behalf of the women that I've had conversations with and that I'm friends with. And, this is the big thing where we talk about black men and the treatment that we get from them. And then we hear the black men saying the same thing about us. And then it's like, we're almost in a place, there's a very small percentage of black women who are more cultured, who are more traveled, who are more educated, not necessarily, because I'm all those things, I'm going to be against you as a man, or I feel like I shouldn't settle for you, and all that other crazy.
Yeah, I don't feel
alpha
that.
Female.
Yeah, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like, oh, she's educated, she's not gonna. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
But that's the boss. I'm going into like the boss bitch syndrome. Like, okay, well, I have my own business. I'm established. I did it all on my own. So, fuck men. I don't need a man. He has to be this, that.
Yeah.
Jemiah, I want to chime in on something.
Mm-hmm.
This is an experience that I actually experienced in Chicago. I first moved to Chicago from Miami, and I met this beautiful, beautiful sister, man. Beautiful. We hung out. She invited me to a party. Again, I'm new to Chicago. She invited me to a picnic, and I'm at the picnic. I don't know anyone because I'm brand new to the city. So, me being Haitian background, I'm used to certain things. And as I felt a little bit little bit nervous going to this party because I didn't know anybody. So I asked her, "Hey, can you get me a plate? Because I don't feel comfortable going to the kitchen, someone's kitchen. You know how it is when you're in someone's house."
Right.
And she looked at me and she said, "It's self-serve." She said, "It's self-serve." I was like, "What?" I was like, "You invited me. I don't know these people. I don't feel comfortable going to someone's kitchen and getting food." And in the Haitian culture, we don't do that. So it's
That's
just like
wild. That's just wild and weird.
But I'm just saying, when she said that, the whole entire on the rest of the day, I felt extremely uncomfortable. That she took me home, and I was like, I'm done. I have no desire to see this woman. Granted, she's gorgeous, and I was like, I'm good. It just kind of gave me a general idea of the type of person she is, and I was like, you know what? I don't want that. And now, 2022, you have a lot of women who have issues in serving a man a plate of food.
Yeah, well, this goes back to this whole social media and reality TV show. Like, people are trapped and sucked in. People think that you're going to go 5-star dining every night of the week. Or you're going to DoorDash, or you're going to Uber Eats.
I'll give this one last example, and then I got to meet up with some friends soon. But when I was married, one of the biggest issues I had with my ex-wife was she used to loudly say to her relatives and friends, she doesn't like to cook. And it really got a problem after we had my twins, because I'm like, you sound real crazy right now. You got little babies, and you talking like you don't want to cook. And the key difference is, in other cultures, if a woman would have said that, a mother, in public would have said she don't like cooking for her family, they would have checked her ass. Some of the women group, and the difference is with the black community, that kind of dumb shit is liked by the women and perpetuated. And so that is like a key difference. That's just one. But this is what brothers are tired of. It's like, you know, these women with this feminism, our sisters just like ate the whole apple on the feminism. Because even white women talk all that feminist nonsense. A lot of them go home to husbands, you know, on the low. But our sisters let it be known how little they like to do for us. And
I'm
it's
just
like,
baffled to
we're not
hear
looking for
this.
slaves, but it's like, goddamn, like you wear this dumb shit with a badge of pride, and it's like I can't co-sign that for you in public. Like even, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like the value system is completely fucked up in the black community.
And do you think? Well, do you think it's
The
more
social
of
contract is broken.
of an Americanized thing? Because I just seen someone in the chat that says
Yeah.
my Chilean girlfriend. I missed it, but they said my Chilean girlfriend is soft spoken, very feminine. Her voice is soft. She's cooperative. I never get this experience in the USA.
Yeah, I
It's
think
from
that's a big part of it. I think it's actually valued in America to be combative and contradictory to your man.
But
And
are
I
these women in a position to embrace their femininity in other countries? Are they not workhorses? Are they not, familyless? Do they have more family? Do they have more women raising children? Are more women stay at home versus, going out to work?
many of these women work. You got to look at Love Across Borders channel. His wife is a corporate person, and she still brings him on camera. No shame at all. She's not embarrassed by it. She doesn't feel belittled, and he takes care of her. See, the real secret is when you guys do the little things like that, we will give you the fucking world. And I'm saying this is, I'm sure most heterosexual men can
Facts.
fucking identify
Big
with it.
Very
We
bad.
That's
knock
that. You know
down
what? Look, I
all
think every
down.
guy on this platform will agree. The little things matters to us. It's the little things. We don't care about how much you make, what property you have, and all that. Great, that's your shit.
Right.
But the little things that make us feel like, hey, we're special, like we are considered as part of your life. That means a lot, and that's why, like, it's funny when women are always quick to throw out their accolades. Like that shit don't matter to us.
Doesn't mean nothing.
At the end of the day, it's just like, okay, how do I feel around you?
True.
If I'm going through some shit, are you going to sit there and listen to me and hold me? Like sometimes we want to be held too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just like the thing is like no man doesn't want to come home to a masculine woman, because that's the case. We feel like we're having sex with another man.
Yup.
And black men are some of the nicest guys out there. Jeremiah, I'm sure you got 2 or 3 ex-boyfriends. If you were stranded in, I don't know if you live in a cold weather climate, but let's just say you live in Detroit in the middle of February, and your car got stuck, in the snow or ran off the road or whatever. I bet you could call up 3 of your ex-boyfriends, and I guarantee you at least one of them would come out and help you. And y'all might not even talked in years. Like I've seen countless examples of brothers coming over to fix, sinks or whatever, give women jumps, help their mom to the, get groceries for them. I've seen it countless times. Man, black men are too nice to be treated the way we get treated. Way too nice. And we just get spit in our face, and we just get tired of that. We just want a little reciprocity.
But this goes both ways. This goes
Here
both
we
ways.
go.
So there's a big
y'all just take a
breakdown.
little criticism without deflecting it. That's the problem too. Like we take criticism for the last 40 years. Y'all have had the whole media against us, Oprah, Nightline, all that stuff, and we've just sat back and took it. The minute we come up with a list of 3 concerns, it's a big problem. We tired of arguing. That's all I got, guys.
Well,
I
thank you,
appreciate it.
Marty.
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks, Marty, man. You sound tired.
All right, Marty.
Yeah,
I gotta
But
get my
this
turn
is-
over my. Y'all don't work my.
Hey, go
but
grab
how
a drink,
we
Marty.
have to figure out a way how to move forward and fix it.
Well, I have
But-
a question.
Uh,
I have a question for the young lady. So like the guys the guys who travel, we're a very small percentage of like the overall black male population. Probably,
you sound far away.
I said the guys who travel, we're a very small percentage of the black male population, right?
Right.
We might be 2%. So, I mean, why all the gnashing of teeth and wringing of hands? If these are guys who otherwise were undesirable, or overlooked, or unthought of, or whatever, I'm trying to figure out you can't miss what you didn't really value to begin with. Because a lot of the guys that I see travel, like I'm going to give you an example of, and Kanal had a back and forth with a friend of mine that's now in East Africa, right? What he didn't know was this guy was a guy who basically raised himself. When he would go to school, he was so poor, the teachers would talk about the clothes that he wore.
Wow, yeah, I didn't know that. Wow, damn.
Yeah, he was so poor, the teachers would talk about the clothes that he wore. He had to forge documents to transfer himself out of a bad school in the hood of Memphis to go to a better school where he knew he would get a better education and be able to go to college to get himself out of poverty. So he was a guy who was laughed at, who was ridiculed, who was like called the lame and all that. He was that guy because he didn't have the freshest gear. He wasn't, style heavy. He ended up graduating from high school, sending himself to college. The only guidance he had was from a mentally ill older brother.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He ended up graduating from high school, going on to college, graduating from college, and becoming an officer in the U.S. Army. Married to an American black woman for a while, then she divorced him, and then he was working in the military overseas, and he met his wife, who's
We need
Ethiopian.
to close YouTube.
Right, he met his wife in Ethiopia, well, not in Ethiopia, but in one of the countries in the Middle East. She was working there, and then, he flew to meet her parents and all of that, and then they married, and they got 2 beautiful kids, and he's over there now, like for summer vacation, and he'll be back, I guess, in the next few days. But I say all that to say, this was not a guy that black women typically are interested in. He's not stylish. He's not like cool. His social bearing is not, high. He's a successful guy, but he's not of the style and ilk that black American women typically like. They like guys that are, kind of flashy, kind of hip. That's not a knock. That's just the truth.
Now I understand why he jumped on my neck.
Right.
Yeah, I understand. You know what? I'll make sure to apologize to that brother, man. I didn't. Now I understand. It's like, God damn, he was hopping on that, man, for like 2 weeks. Like shit.
Yeah. But he and I agree. Once we agreed to your definition of lame, we understood that your definition is different than what he experienced in his life.
Yeah. Wow. That
So,
is good, man.
But being impoverished and lame is two different things.
well, yeah, but see, he was both because he was both. You understand what I mean? He was not. He was not of the style that Black American women typically like, and the culture is heavy on style and presentation
Yeah, swagger.
and
But
swag.
just like you said there that it's probably you guys are probably in the 2% of Black men that frequently travel outside of the country. There's still a 2% of Black women that are just not into that shit. I don't want to see a 51-year-old fucking man wearing Psycho Bunny and a bunch of fucking colored shoes. That's just me. I don't want to see you with a Cuban link on and rhinestones and diamonds, and that shit is weird to me too.
Well, I understand, but that's the culture, and see what that's the explanation that I have to try to give most Black women. But see, they don't, and I'm not talking about you. You fully get it. I think that you hear and understand. You don't want to see no dude or 50-year-old looking like a teenager. You're right,
No.
but this culture that is a part of the culture is to present in that style because it's a youth driven culture, right? So for an older guy like me to go to a country where older men are valued for their knowledge, their success, their resources, for all of that, it's mind blowing. We got about 4 guys in my American Black men married to foreign women group who are over 50 and had their first child at 50 because they had younger wives from cultures that accept that.
Hey, Pablo, my dad was 60, my mom was 29 when they had me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They could have never done that here. It's not a part of the culture.
Culture.
Yeah,
I just have to accept it. You have to accept it.
my father was 38 and my mom was 22 when they had me.
Oh wow.
And my great grandfather had the last of his 13 children when he was in his 70s, and his wife was 40. But those times are past. People don't. They don't.
Well, it's looked at as a perversion or pedophilia.
It's not. But
In America.
No,
In America.
No, because no, I'm going to go ahead and dispel that right now because that is something that is put on the Black community, but the white community does it all the time, and nobody bats an eye. It is absolutely fine and acceptable when they do it, but when black men do it, it's a perversion. Oh, he's getting somebody that he can control. He doesn't want somebody at his age because he doesn't want somebody to stand up to him or that's going to meet him at his level. Sometimes these old men just want peace and quiet and just want somebody that's going to be cooperative. Doesn't mean that they want somebody that they can control. They want peace. They want to bear children and know that they're not going to be challenged in front of their children. That manhood being tested. By somebody that feels like they're trying to be on their level. So
Understood. But you saying that, a lot of Black women don't get to hear this kind of rawness.
And what I respect about you is that this is the thing that where we have the conflict. You're taking the step to actually have a conversation with us. That cannot be said about a lot of Black women, unfortunately, because there's already a connotation that is already put on us as Black men where, oh, no, they got to do what we want them to do. It ain't no conversation. It's no discussing it. If they're not doing this, and that, I'm independent, I'm this or whatever. We don't need to have a conversation.
Yeah, but a lot of us aren't spiritually inclined either. And I'm not talking about, going to the Baptist church and the Methodist church and Jehovah Witness and religion,
Mm.
spirituality. And I'm speaking on levels of being in touch with the inner you without your ego, um, without narcissism, without keeping the mentality that you still in the hood. And that has a lot to do with the attitude of Black women. A lot of them are not competent. They can't they can't relate.
But there's another thing though. A lot of them are, but because their mother, their sister, their homegirls, their group of friends says that no, this is what it is, they'll rather go with what the status quo says as opposed to what the inner side of them is telling them. Hmm, maybe I should treat this person like a human being, as opposed to not, as opposed to just having all of these expectations for them to do these things, and there's no, give and go. It, like I said, it's just a matter of again coming to the conversation table and having these conversations so that we can actually learn about each other, learn about what has been going wrong for so many years, and actually fix the problem.
This is very true. Um, I mean, I can rally up several women, strangers, both strangers and friends, and we can tell you what our mothers have told us how to treat Black men. Sadly, you know, and it's crazy, and it's crazy, and I love hearing this because I want to be able to share this with other Black women as well. Um, when I was growing up, my mother didn't speak to me about love or loving a man or being a friend to him or being cooperative. It was just like, listen, hey, don't bring no babies in my house. Don't let no man sleep with you and lay up with you for free. And, fuck them. That was my speech on relationships with the Black man.
Unfortunately, you're not the only woman that had that conversation.
And my and what's the girl's name? I think her name is Corinne Stefan, Superhead. I watched a podcast with her the other day, and I was able to relate to what she said. And she said, my mother was the first person to call me a whore. And I experienced the same thing. And I see it in Walmart, and I see it at CVS, and I see it at Publix, where, the moms are calling their baby daughters whores and bitches and sluts. And it's like, get the fuck out of my house. You need to go be with this man. This man needs to take care of you. You're on his hands. You're laying up with him. He needs to provide for you. That is the narrative for a lot of Black women. We miss the whole, okay, the man will provide for you if you love him properly. That has never been said. That has
Right.
almost never been heard. I don't have to prostitute myself to this man in order for him to give to me if I only care for him. And I had to experience that on my own, by having that mentality that you get fucking used like a tool.
Well, here's the thing. Like, are these women laying with these Black men but marrying them first? I think that's kind of the problem, where they go out with these dudes, and let's be honest, a lot of them are the Pookies, Ray Rays, and the Tyrones that they're laying up with, and they're having this problem where they're not committing to them, um, and they're having these kids out of wedlock. That's a huge issue in the Black community.
I don't know if I can say that because I've dated Pookies and Ray Rays. I've dated doctors, lawyers, athletes, um, guys that play basketball overseas, um, digital marketing executives. I mean, I've gone from Pookie to Ray Ray to top of the tier men, and it just it doesn't
It doesn't. It isn't really any difference.
So why the top of the tier men? Why they were not committed to you? What do you think the reason is?
That is a great question. That is a great question, and a lot of it has been commitment issues. Not
On
committing, multiple women, multiple women. A lot of these men have wanted me to just be at home, sit at home while they're out, living their life as if they're single. And I mean, there's been plenty of times where I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't sit in the house and twiddle my thumbs waiting for you. It's unacceptable for you to come home at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'm not going to be able to sleep that way, knowing that you're out all night. And it's not even a thought of, okay, you're with another woman. Like, even if you're with your friends, even if you're hanging out, even if you're on South Beach, or even if you're in Vegas, like, I'm waiting for you. I'm not going to sleep that well, and you're coming in the house 4-5 o'clock in the morning. That's not okay. And when you tell a man that, they're looking at you like, I got the money, I got the pocket, I got this, I can provide for you, I'm doing for you, I just furnished your apartment, or this is the lifestyle that I'm offering you, so you should just take it.
Do you?
So, go ahead. My bad.
Then let me ask you this: because of these men that you've ran into that are top tier men, just like how they have made their intentions known as to what they can do, what they can provide, and what they can do, all the things that benefits you if you're in a relationship with them, and they make their demands clear. Have you also made your demands clear before you decide to date them?
I don't think I've ever have. It's like one of those unspoken things. It's like you just deal with it because he has the money. It's either deal with it or go.
I think that although men have their their options and they have their requirements. I'm one of those men that don't think that I don't have no reservations about the woman having the same thing. But I just think that for any relationship to work, you have to make those intentions clear from the jump, so that it's not unspoken, so that it doesn't get to a point where you're frustrated and you're waiting up until whatever time of the night for him to get there. I think it should be well established that, okay, this is what I want in a relationship, and this is what's going to make me stay in a relationship. And that should be done on both sides.
Facts.
I agree.
The way that you were stating that you were operating, that might be all right when you're, 20, 23, 24, 25 even. But by the time you're, creeping there towards 30, that's probably not the best way to kind of deal with men. You probably want to state, hey, start asking questions after, a few dates or whatever. Hey, well, what are you looking for? What are you trying to achieve, or whatever? And if the guy cut and run, then he's not the one. Because I had to learn that myself as a young man, that not every woman that I, meet and maybe even click with wants the same thing that I want. And so that was a big eye opener for me, that I had to, learn for myself, that I had to kind of at some point get to the point and say, hey, this is what I want. This is the way I see my life going in a relationship with someone. What is it that you're trying to do? And if I don't get a clear answer, I'm out.
Or if you get vilified for what you said, then you're out as well.
Yeah, so, either way. It's not. I don't feel evil. No, either this is what I want at this particular time. If you are interested, fine. Now, if you say, if you can't say yes and then turn around and be, and be upset that he continues to do his thing because you said, yeah, okay, I'm with it.
And this all circles back to the original point where we as men are, stating what it is that we want, what it is that we desire from our women. And there's nothing wrong with the woman desiring and wanting things from her man. There's nothing wrong with that. It should, but from the get-go of this conversation, that should be mutually agreed upon. It should be fine. It should be culturally fine in this age for both parts of a relationship to have things that they're willing to deal with and things that they're not willing to deal with, and it's stated from the jump, and not go into a commitment or relationship without that being said, or without that being understood. And just like how, Jameer, you ran into that issue where your needs weren't being met. Just like how we're stating our needs are not being met, but we're being vilified for it. But we totally understand when a woman comes to the table and says, hey, this is what I want. This is what I want in a relationship. I don't want somebody that's going to cheat on me. I want somebody that's going to do this. I want somebody that's going to do that. It's up to us as men to be like, okay, all right, let me see if I can meet that. If I can't meet that, sorry, sweetie, I can't do that. This is the life that I live. And boom, that gets taken to the side.
Agreed.
I also want to say, I'm in a relationship right now, and when I say in the beginning of the relationship, we did not communicate what we wanted, what she wanted, and that ended up being a problem. We argued a lot and things like that. But once we sat down and figured out, communicate, we need to, what do you want from me? What do I want from you? Things just got so much smoother because we know what each person expected. You know what I mean? So definitely when you have a man, especially a new one, be straight from the jump. This is what I want. If it's not the answer that you want, that's fine. You just got to go somewhere else. But to save each other's time, I think each person should be up front and tell their demands.
I agree.
And also be upfront and communicate if those things happen to change, if your outlook happens to change from what you originally said. That happens. It happens in relationships where people grow, they're together, and then sometime within the relationship, their original view will change, whether it was influenced by something or something that may have happened may cause it. But it has to be communicated. I think communication is key.
Right. Well,
Okay, I see that Big Mike said Pookie and Ray Rays are dating 80% of African American women. Is that Pookies and Ray Rays are smashing 80% of African American women?
Well, here's the thing. Like, if you don't mind me asking, like, now, like, are you still single, or you're dating, or what's the situation now?
Right now, I am choosing to be single. Because I think I need to do a little more self-finding and a little more self-love before I accept another relationship or intend to pursue one.
Okay, and that's okay. And what is your overall goal? Like, do you want to be married? Do you already have kids? If you don't mind me asking.
I do. I have a daughter that's 13 from a Pookie / Ray Ray, which is fine.
Hey guys, do you love the transparency and all this?
Yeah, I appreciate the honesty.
Absolutely.
We're civil black men here. Like, we ain't gonna jump on her like some mad niggas. If you don't mind me saying that, like, I'm just keeping the facts.
And I don't feel bad. I mean, I love this conversation. I am enjoying this. I mean, because it allows me to self-reflect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like I'm learning things about me as a woman from you.
We have a new person on the line, New Dean. Welcome to the conversation, man.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I'm one of them long-time quiet listeners, and so if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna give you about a few minutes about me. So basically, I traveled to Brazil, 2013 for the first time. Then got married, but recently divorced. Thank God. But hitting back out in the travel community, and it's just I think that some of the ways that some things are framed are incorrectly. Like, African American women seeing their men with Latin women. I think that's incorrect because, for example, if you're traveling to Brazil, if you're traveling to DR, you're, most of those guys are still interested in women of African descent, but just are from a patriarchal culture that teaches women to serve. Those are still black women, but they're just from a different culture.
So why aren't Black women in America being taught to serve?
It's the
I
culture.
don't know if you missed the
It's the
conversation.
culture.
Did you
No,
hear
I
me
didn't.
earlier on? I don't know how long ago you stepped in or not, but I was explaining to these other gentlemen, as Black women, you're not taught to love Black men. I mean,
Right,
I'm
and
third.
I'll echo what was said. It's the entire system. It's the culture. We live in a matriarchal culture in America. All of these countries that every single man has talked about a woman who's feminine. That is a patriarchal culture. And after I got divorced, I decided I will not date a woman from America. It's not what I want. So, and it's the same thing. I understand that women are taught a certain way, but I want to give you a task, okay? Because I'm not interested. I don't care. I'm not going to tell them this, right? So there's this term, sexual marketplace value, and women apparently think that African American women think that theirs is higher than men. But uh, I'm going to tell you a new term because it's accurate. Global sexual marketplace value. You are in competition with these other women, whether you realize it or not. All of African American women are in competition with Afro-Brazilian women, Afro-Colombian women, and this is for the black men. 80% of black men marry black women in America. I was married to a black woman. I've never had problem with. I'm not a guy that's had problems with black women in America. I was still lame when I was young, but I grew up to be a 6'7" dude driving a nice expensive car. But that's besides the point. Like, the culture is incorrect. Here's the brass tacks. Either African American women learn to serve or not. If not, they'll get bred out of existence, because we have the means to go anywhere. We still are dating our women. They are just from other cultures. They are not Latin women. There are more African women in Brazil than there are in the United States. There was 5 million slaves in Brazil. There's only 300,000 slaves in the United States. So, we've got this word black conflated with our color, but everywhere else in the world, they talk about culture. Okay. If you ask a Dominican, are you black? No, they're going to say, no, I'm Dominican, because they're saying that's my culture. They're not denying their African American or their African descent. If you ask a Frenchman, a white Frenchman, they're going to say they're from France. If you ask a black Frenchman, they're going to say they're from France. It's like we're talking inches and the rest of the world is talking centimeters. So a Brazilian can still be black, but you see what I'm saying?
I know, I get exactly what you're saying.
And yeah, I am now fluent in Portuguese and in learning a little bit of Spanish. This is what black men will go through. They will go to a country that it rains lead, has more chance of getting an STD just to get a smile.
And to be honest with you, as a Black woman, to hear that is very disheartening.
Well, I'm giving it's up to you to take it to your sisters, because we are going to quietly leave, and you're gonna
I mean,
ask
I
where.
believe you guys have already. I believe you
But
guys
but
have already left.
I'll tell
but
you what, I want to say this one last thing. Like I said, I'm hitting the travel community. I will be in Brazil all summer, Brazilian summer, which starts in December. I've already met Zoe. I've already met, a lot of travelers. I've been traveling to DR. So, yeah, we already gone.
Yo, if you come up to Salvador when you're here, man, hey, check me out, man.
Hey, I've been there before. I've been there for when I went to Carnival in 2013.
Carnival in Salvador is crazy.
Yes, it is.
Marvin Person, I think there's a lot of truth to what you just typed in the chat. This culture isn't loving or caring. It's a selfish, what's best for me. I'm not doing anything I don't want to do, and it's anti-male. I believe that because I feel anti-male a lot at times. And that's something that I struggle with, and I've had these conversations with other Black women too.
But what I will interject, and I will play devil's advocate here, because also I'm in a relationship, but I'm in a relationship with a Black woman here in the United States. And the reason why I'm, after being married and after having to deal with a woman for 5 years that was very much anti-male, who very much wanted to, basically did the bare minimum and felt that I should be just happy with it and be okay with the attitude, with the gaslighting, with all the crazy stuff, just because she's present. I did not completely give up on Black women, but what I did do was that in the relationship that I'm in now, I made it clear from the jump the things that I wanted and the things that I will not tolerate and the things that I expect. And there are some women that will be like, nigga, whatever. But
Right.
there are women that are out there and be like, okay, all right. If that's what it takes to have you, okay. Fine. I don't think you're asking too much.
So let me jump in on that. So yeah, I was married for 6 years to a woman who did not. So her mother, I think, was the same way, and with my wife did not know how to hug and embrace and give any type of affection. And this is I would tell her all the time. This is not nothing I wouldn't say to her. But now I'm in a relationship with another African American woman, and she is exactly what we talk about when we go overseas. Unfortunately, she's of an age, so I don't have any children, and she's of an age where she can't have children. She's getting close to 50, and I hate to say this, I have in general no problem I've had with Black women. I've dated a few good ones. I'm not one of those just women haters, but I get the inkling that women only make this turn to niceness once they have a child. She's a single mother, and it just seems as if you're never going to find in America a woman without children, unless she's, let's say, African and hasn't been in America or from another country, with parents from another country. You're not going to get it from an African American woman that's been taught by an African American family. So that's been my experience.
Understand how to treat men until my grandmother died. I had to be the caregiver for my grandfather because he's been with the woman who's been servicing him for 53 years. So at that point, I wasn't working. I had just had my daughter, and my grandfather invited me to live there to care for him. And it was a lot, and it was rough. And I didn't learn how to really care for a Black man and service a Black man until I moved in with my grandfather.
Well, wouldn't that just be a man?
Yeah, a man. But prior to that, my mother never taught me any of that. Not once. It was never a conversation.
Right. And the thing is that A lot of women never taught that. My current the relationship that I'm in now, she wasn't taught that. Well, she was taught that. She saw it growing up, but of course, she ran into every single thing that went against what she grew up seeing. So obviously, when you get enough of that culture, you're going to be like, okay, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what mom is talking about serving this man or that man. I'm going to go ahead and listen to you know, what is being said around me. And it took a couple years to figure out, that's what she was doing. That's why she's taken care of. That's why she doesn't have to worry about this bill or that bill. And that's the reason why they've been together that long. Oh, okay. I figured out the formula. I'm going to go ahead and implement it in my next relationship, which happened to be me.
Well, guys, I can share something personal. I was raised by a single mother, Haitian woman, came into this country illegally with me. I have 4 sisters. One passed away. And growing up, my mother was never affectionate towards me. Like, honestly, I don't think my mother was affectionate towards anybody because she was on survival mode. And I remember one time, I hurt myself and I was crying. My mother said, "Get up. You can't cry. You don't have time to cry." And then I could count how many times my mother said, "I loved you." And now as an adult, I kind of understand what she was going through because she's a legal Haitian and within the United States, trying to survive with 7 kids by herself. My 4 sisters were never affectionate. They knew, like, okay, you had to clean, you had to cook. Like, they knew their duties as women, but they never were affectionate. They became affectionate once they start dating the guys they wanted to date, and the guys had to sit down, talk to them. And I remember as a kid, my 4 older sisters, a lot of guys had problems with them because they always complained about that they were not affectionate, they were not nice. But my sisters they're all beautiful. So they had to learn how to do that. So imagine that. It's like, okay, if my sisters and my mom gone through this, imagine what's the average sister going through the same situation. A lot of women nowadays are not being taught this compared
And a
to
lot of
other.
women aren't being loved either by their parents.
Yeah. So
In
sometimes,
general.
sometimes I take a step back and I'm like, okay, what was her upbringing? Because again, I have an older brother and there's me, and between my older brother and me, it's nothing but girls. So it's just like I watched how my mother treated my sisters. My mother was extremely hard, and I mean, like, vicious hard. So I guess my sister kind of picked up that same attitude and that same demeanor from my mother, and it's like a cycle. So sometimes, like, it goes back to what you guys were saying, like sitting down and asking what your expectations are. Like, okay, this is what I want from you, and I think a lot of people are not doing that.
A lot of
Either
people aren't doing that.
domestically or overseas. If you mess with a girl overseas, same thing. You need to sit her down and like, hey, this is what I want from you.
Right.
What you want from me.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
And the thing is that here's the thing, guys. And sorry if I'm butting in, man.
No, let's go. Let's go.
But I think we where this all, no matter what background you come from, no matter this person didn't love you or this person didn't do this for you, this person didn't teach you this person didn't teach you that. Guess what? Right now we're adults. It's nothing that we can do to change our upbringing. What we can do now and what we have to be open to, both men and women, is learning to go to the school of the other. How can I be a good man to this woman? How can I be a good woman to this man? I don't cook, but I'm going to pick up a recipe book. I don't know how to love, but I'm going to go ahead and understand. Well,
do black men have the patience to do that? Because as one of the gentlemen said earlier, I can't really see anybody's name anymore. He says, these are the things that I want. These are the things that I expect. And if I'm not getting it, I'm going to go and get it somewhere else.
Yeah, that was me. That Pablo.
Okay.
And listening to I had a very wonderful childhood with wonderful parents. Two married parents, successful, smart, loving, affectionate. I had all of that. And so, I kind of always, and I went to an HBCU. And even when I was there, sometimes I felt like a bit like an alien, in some ways. I would look at certain behaviors and certain things, and I'd be like, that's curious. But in any case, at the end of the day, it gets to a point, particularly when you're a man, and like I said, it's very different. To me, in my mind, it's very different for men in that a man is going to get to a point, whether he's 35, 40 years old, he's going to say, you know what? Just like that lion that wants to have his own pride, he's going to say, you know what? I want to build my family. And it doesn't matter what occurred in his childhood or before or none of that. He will find.
We lost it, Pablo.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you now. We lost it a little bit.
All right. So women are more affected by their surrounding culture than men. Men can kind of create their own reality a little bit better, I think, when it comes to like their family life. So they're gonna find a way to get what they want and need. And society already teaches men that they have to be providers and all of that anyway, because you got to pay for the dates, you got to plan the date, you got to have a job, it's required of men. Men can never say, well, I'll be manly when you be feminine. you can't say, well, I'll be manly when you cook me a meal, I'll be a man, when
Right.
you
And there's another side to that. If you are a man that has not accomplished, like I have a brother that has not accomplished, society basically has thrown him away. He cannot get a woman. Our what we have to go through is a lot harder.
Yeah. So, it's less forgiving. It's not forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
It does not make excuse. It does not. Black women do not say, oh, well, because of racism, because of broken families, you don't have to pay for me to go to dinner. You don't have to pay for me to go to the movies. You don't have to make 6 figures to make yourself a, attractive mate.
But in truth, I think that I'm gonna take back what I just said. It's not harder for a man. It's flipped, right? There's a term called the wall. Okay, men get their sexual marketplace value later in life. Women have all of theirs at 19, 20. And then for them, it's harder later in life when they're talking about, well, why doesn't anybody want me? They're going through their hard part at the later in life. All of us, when we was young, didn't nobody want us. Now we hot, everybody's on us.
Well, I mean, it really depends on the person, because trust me, a lot of guys have already hit the wall. Let's keep it a buck, man. There's a lot of guys that I see traveling with passports.
Facts.
Bro, you need to pay for this, bro. You need to literally pay for this. Make your arrangement and pay her.
I don't know about that.
I
don't. Here's the thing, though.
No, he's right. He's right. But go ahead, brother.
Let me add this.
You ain't lying, man.
I hear what you're saying, but like that guy Richard Goggins, if they put the effort in, right? When I was married, I was 35 pounds heavier than I am now. I lost all that weight. I'm getting ready for the Brazilian summer, so I gotta do what I gotta do. Just like y'all said.
That's the thing. That's you. Not a lot of guys have that same mindset that you have. So that's why, like, a lot of guys have already hit the wall. And the only way they could get some action if they come out of pocket is what it is.
Right.
They have no desire to better themselves. There's a big difference when there's a big difference when the guy wants to better himself And like, okay, I see my flaw, I see my weakness. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to put myself to the next level. Then there are some guys that just don't give a fuck. It's like, hey, this is me, and you know what? I gotta pay for the rest of my life, and I gotta pay for it.
Wow.
Right.
So
You know what? That kind of circles back to the original topic of this whole thing about the angry man. Usually, those are the ones that are angry.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are pissed off.
Or,
you got every
let me get this in here, right? So my mother told me, you know, you need to go to college so a woman will want you. And the reality of my life has been exactly opposite. I did not go to college. I have a GED, but I also had a 23-year career in IT. And now I have no student loans, all my bills paid off with a paid off Tesla. I don't even work right now. So I'm 100% living off of crypto dividends. So, you know, it's just funny how everything that I've been taught in life has been wrong, or really, you know, it's half that, and then the world has changed. But shit, I forget my original point. But you know, I guess what I'm saying is I've always taken the hard way out. You know, I studied Portuguese for 12 years. I waited 6 years to get a car. Most people are not going to go to the lengths that I go to. I take the hard way out on purpose, because if you take the hard way out in everything, life becomes easier. So that just made sense to me. But then again, I grew up, I was a lame, so you know.
I mean, Dean, but that's the thing. You have that trait to better yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of guys really don't have that. A lot of guys are okay in their current situation. You were never okay with that. So that's why, like I said, a lot of guys hit the wall maybe sooner than most women, because they just said like, fuck it, this is who I am. I'm all right. I'll take whatever I could get. Then there's guys like you who knows like, hey, listen, I could push myself to do more and get, you know, to get more out of life. It's a big difference.
Right. And again, like I can't see names, but the lady on the panel, I think that we probably came from the same parts of town. I grew up in the suburbs. I always had a joke, you know, in the black community, you say, never forget where you come from. I came from the suburbs. I ain't trying to forget that either. But yeah, I mean, you know, I grew up being called, oh, you speak white. And then later in life, I said, no, I speak 4 languages correctly. You struggle with 1. But yeah, man, it's
I've gotten that a lot. Oh, you're a white girl. You speak white.
Yeah. No, I speak properly.
I speak properly, or you have an accent.
Thing. Yeah, here's another one you can say. You know, I can't. It's not my fault. My parents cared about my education. They get mad at that. So yeah.
Well, I mean, this is a interesting conversation, guys. I mean, this is the most views, the most panel participants I ever had. So this is amazing, man. I know Solo TV
I enjoyed this.
Oh no, hey Jamil, we may have to do more of this and invite other women to the platform. So
I have 2 women in mind. I have 2 women in mind to visit.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, I have 2 women that's open-minded, and then there has to be one that's not as open-minded, because we have to hear both sides.
But here's the thing. If somebody could be not open-minded, that's fine. It's just a matter of just like how we're having a conversation and we're allowing the other person to speak, and we're listening with intent to listen, to understand, as opposed to listening to respond. Absolutely. And that's what causes the issue with people that may be close-minded. But there's people that may be stuck on their laurels and stuck in their ways, but know how to have a conversation.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk about coming up here. If you guys don't mind, I'm quickly.
Hey, go for it, Solo.
Well,
hey, Solo, go for it, man. You know what? I'm surprised Solo's even up. His ass don't be sleeping. So, hey, give him the platform, man, because he's about to go to sleep in 2 minutes. So,
so who's the person who's up in Bahia? I'm sorry, I didn't see the name.
Yo, it's Kurt. Yeah, I'm up in Bahia.
Okay. I might have to look you up when I get there because I'm gonna be traveling around Brazil this summer. Which is December, January, February. For those who don't know, that's summer in Brazil.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there. I'm in the States right now taking care of business, but I'm heading back there shortly.
All right, yeah.
Solo?
And actually, to piggyback on what I said earlier, it is my intent. Like I said, I was married at the beginning of the pandemic, so it's been about 2.5 years or something like that. Sold the house. I'm not buying nothing. I sold all. I gave my ex-wife all of the physical things.
Wait.
Yeah.
So you were married for 2 years?
No. I was married for 6 years.
Oh, okay.
I've been divorced since 2020. And I gave her everything physical, like all of the whole house, stuff I had when I was single. And I did that because I knew I wanted to travel. Now I can neither confirm nor deny that I had a whole bunch of crypto that she didn't know about. Who needs a prenup? You know what I'm saying? But so I threw all that stuff away just like I threw her away. Anyway, no, she like standard, she filed for divorce. The black woman always files for divorce.
Wait. So she filed for the divorce.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's get technical. That's to make her sleep better at night. I left. I walked up the door, said I'm not coming back. So they gotta file the paperwork before I can. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
Yeah, I left. She hit me with this is she confronted me. She said, when you found a wife, do you think you found a good thing? I said, no. No,
Jesus Christ,
I did not. No.
Not the Bible thumping. Jesus, no.
Yes.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, hey guys, let's get Solo the floor before he falls asleep.
Oh
Solo.
yeah,
Solo.
Come on, Solo.
You all good, man. Good conversation. First I want to say, black man travels, man. You know what? That story that you told about your mother and situation, I could relate to that because same situation. My mother, immigrant from Haiti as well, and I can't really count how many times she actually said that she loved me. But I mean, I know she does, but that's not something that she's used to doing or even saying and so forth. So, I definitely understand that standpoint. Secondly, just to give you guys quick little history, especially to me, is the fact that with me is that I've dated a lot of black women and so forth, got married and divorced and had kids out of those situations. But right now, of course, at the point I'm married to a Colombian, so basically, of course, unfortunately, I'm one of those that actually already checked out. So with this being said, is that I'm great. I applaud you for being on a platform, willing to listen to all of us that are here and to, soak it in and so forth. Because another one of the questions that was asked was, why is it that you guys, why is it hard for other women to, or if you have the discussion, it's because more so a lot of the women that we have the discussion with, they're not willing to listen to us, and we're able to at least express our issues that we had, with these relationships and so forth. So that's what's most important, and that's why I really hope that you do bring out your sisters, other people to come on that are willing to listen to us, entirely, and not just respond back and play victim or anything like that. Just to come in peace and willing to listen to us. So that's based on what I want to say. I appreciate you for being on here and for
Thank
doing
you.
this. And thanks, Black Man Travel, for having me on.
Yeah, Jamal, you've done an amazing job. These are all lions in here, and you're pretty much the sheep. And it's just like you're literally like taking care of business. I'm like, wow. I'm sitting back. I'm like listening. I'm like, damn, she hasn't lost her.
Yeah, she sounds like a dope person.
And I guess curiosity always kills the cat,
Right,
because
that's
I'm just like
thoughtful.
strolling on YouTube and I'm like, okay, Kanal's live. Let me tap in really quick. And then I'm like, what's this StreamYard thing? And then I just click it and then I register my email and you're like, hey, Jemiah. And I'm like, what?
Didn't know you was getting in the lion's den.
I mean, you done really well, especially with Pablo. Pablo of all people. I'm like, man, she's kind of holding her own with Pablo.
I like Pablo. Bring me a challenge.
Hey, you holding your own. You holding your own.
No, but see, there's a certain, like was said in another way, you're willing to listen. Like
Right.
a lot of people, it's gonna be just it's gonna end up everybody arguing and talking over each other, and that's a lot of people shut down when that happens. Don't even want to. That kills the conversation. And so yeah.
My
And
issue,
I'll-
my issue was, the other stream we were on.
Yeah.
To try to explain something to a woman, and then she already has that thing in her mind. She already had her mind made up about a certain situation. You going down there to, get with a girl, she gonna take you for a green card and all this other stuff. But I went after that stream. I went and asked Brazilian girls, are you all interested in green cards to come to the United States? They laughed. It's like, no.
Why would they want to come here?
Why? And they
Why
said,
would you?
they
Yeah.
said back in the day, years ago, that was a thing. But now, no.
So
Apparently, they're just repeating old stuff that from years ago.
yeah, and if you've been to Brazil, let's say in the last few years, like okay, the first time I went to Brazil was in 2013. I went, I think last year. Brazil is more advanced than America is now. You can go anywhere and just wear an Apple Watch and pay for everything without taking your credit card out of your pocket, right? Yeah.
And also one thing to mention is that most people don't want to leave their families. Who really wants to leave their family to go to a whole nother country speaking another language?
And that's very correct, especially with America. So Brazil is a very socially open culture, and America is a completely closed social culture where everybody's just looking at their phones every day.
Exactly. And then leaving your country where you have a lot of festivals, a lot of holidays, to a country that barely has a holiday every other month.
That's right.
Brazil got a holiday every other week.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, I believe that they enjoy life, and it's really a celebration.
But
Yeah.
I wanted to make one point because I'm about to drop off, guys. Great conversation.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make one point when it comes to at the crux of all of this is relationship with why men are going out of the country to go and seek relationship as opposed to staying here. And I'm going to leave with this. And Kiddo, you've heard me say this to you before, bro. A lot of if we go to, I hate to use this because I really can't stand the American church, but there is a scripture, there is a story in the Bible, Samson and Delilah. A lot of people don't get the point. And a lot of our black women don't get the point of that whole story. They don't get it. Because what we as men want is to lay our head on you and tell you all our hopes and dreams and all of our weaknesses, and pray to God that you don't try to kill us in the night.
Wow.
And what happens is that a lot of women decide to go ahead and get the bag. Would rather go and get the bag and kill the man with his weakness, and be happy with the bag, as opposed to the man that was seeking the woman, knowing that he's strong, knowing that he's also weak, but confiding in you, his weaknesses and everything, hoping that, look, all I need is somebody that understands me. I just need somebody that's going to look, after I finish killing the beast, I want to come home and just lay my head on you and hope to God that you're not going to use every single thing that is at your disposal to try to destroy me. And that's what we want. And then sadly, there's a lot of us that go seeking that outside because we're comfortable laying our heads on somebody else that has proven that they're not going to do that to us.
Understood. I'm definitely taking notes.
And yeah. All right. I just want to, reiterate again, when we go into all these countries, so I'm a guy who only dates I won't say black women, but women of African descent. So, even in America, I dated African women and African American women, but I see them all as the same. So, you can't get mad if we're still dating y'all. You just speak a different language. You're from a different culture, but we all came from the same place. That's
Exactly.
how I see it.
We're gonna do this. It's been 2 hours and 22 minutes, man. This is the
Oh
longest
wow.
live stream I had.
It's flowing.
What I want to do is I just want to do just a round table. Give you guys 2 minutes to say your piece, and as well, if you any last comments you want to give to Jemiah that she could just take to her friends, and we definitely gonna do this again, man. I really appreciate this, man. So let's start this. So I'm gonna start with Dean. So you got 2 minutes, man, on the floor. Anything you want to say to Jemiah and say to the group? It's your chance now.
Wow. It's probably not going to be 2 minutes. But
Cool.
the unfortunate truth is, globalization. It's a business phrase, but it's seeped into our lives. We live in an internet society, so everybody's competing globally now, right? So either you give us what we need, or I hate to say it, that attitude from our point of view, we're gonna breed it out of existence. And I'll leave it at that.
All right, cool. QB.
Yeah. Definitely great stream. Very, very productive stream. I feel as long as black women realize that there are a lot of educated brothers that are out there, they're just expressing their options. Majority of them is because they just been denied by American women, period. So going to another country, having the type of relationship that they desire and want, I don't feel the need needs to be, they need to be shamed. And vice versa, black men that are traveling overseas, there's no need to shame American women or black women.
I agree.
You know, you need to go your way and be happy that you went your way, and let other brothers know, hey, there is another option. And that's why we have these channels and panels for education. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, QB.
Thank you,
Pablo.
QB.
Pablo, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Jemiah, is that your name, young lady?
Yes.
Well, I must say you are very exceptional, uh, young lady, for being able to listen to us on this topic. All of the men on this panel are extensive, well-heeled black male travelers. So we are the guys that are, our ticket is punched, um, so to speak. Um, and most women in this space do not listen to us in the way that you did. They do not. They are very combative. They are very. They want to give talking points and propaganda. They do not have a back and forth in the way that you did. So that alone shows me that there are not that many like you. If it were, we wouldn't probably have this problem. Um, that being said, I enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed the back and forth. And what's happening now is black men are actually having a voice for things that they have all already said to each other in barbershops, in locker rooms, in places that women did not hear. It's only now that they're getting to hear it. And so they're saying, oh, stop bashing us. When in actuality, these are conversations that we already had amongst each other. You're just now privy to it. And that's the power of some kind of Black American cultures that men rarely actually expressed what they really thought. Now they kind of have the freedom and the platform to do so. So it's not
Which I
new.
think is a very positive thing. And I've discussed with Kunal before, um, the Kevin Samuels movement was a good thing because it was a harsh reality to a lot of us that were perceptive to hear, you know, where the breakdown between the Black man and the Black woman is. But the conversation that I had tonight, how patient you guys were, how transparent and just clear and direct with exactly what it is without holding back. This is
Well,
positive positivity, not toxic
right.
positivity.
Here's one of the reasons that we can do that. We're not trying to have sex with you. A lot of black men will get on these panels and they will say things because they want to curry favor with black women so that they can have sex with them. One of the things that I learned in my travels in Latin America is in these more patriarchal countries, they don't do that with women. They tell them what it's going to be and how and what they're feeling and thinking right away, and they don't care whether or not they figure they're going to get sex anyway, so they don't care. But it's something about this culture where they don't want to cut off the honey pot, so
I
they'll.
mean, and maybe it's hypersexuality.
I don't know, but
But
I
I
know I'm
mean,
not doing it. I know I ain't doing it, but they can do whatever they like. But anyway, that's all I
look,
got. I
well,
appreciate
thank
it.
you so
Hey,
much.
thanks,
It has been a
Pablo.
pleasure.
Thanks, Pablo, as always. Your flyness, your
Yes,
take on it.
sir.
What's your take on it?
Great panel. It was a lot less. It was a lot more calm. I like that.
Yes, it
So,
is.
did you guys have another woman or women prior
No,
to me?
no. There was another live through another host. We
Okay.
joined. It was just very combative,
Yeah.
very destructive. It was just all negative. It was draining to me. I was like, it's too much. So your flyness, man. Say your piece, bro.
Yeah, man. I appreciate. You said your name was Jemiah.
Yes.
Yes, I appreciate you having an open mind and listening to us and actually, filling us in as men on some of the things
Hmm.
we do wrong. Every man might not admit it, but I rarely ever hear women say, "Oh, my mom didn't teach me how to cook," or "My mom didn't do this." You don't hear that too often. So I appreciate your honesty about that. What I would say in the future, as far as there's nothing that men can say. I want a woman to cook. She's not going to listen to us. It's on the older women now to tell this younger generation, because I'm seeing it right now. If they try to go out for dinner dates and all this other stuff, I just can't see a lot of marriages happening in the future with this newer generation. So my thing is teach the youth. I'm not as vocal as I should be, but when I do encounter a young man, 16, 17-year-old, I do try to encourage him to, take the right path and everything. So I would encourage on the women's side to do the same thing. If you're doing it, kudos to you. But I feel like it really should be some more.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Your
Thank
flyness.
you.
Yes, sir.
Big H, the traveler. Haïtien. Ça
Yeah.
passe, man.
I said, I don't come in, man. Mr. Meyer, I must credit you for taking the time to be on this panel, one, and two, being so receptive to the things that we had to say. So that speaks volumes to us, and that is something that's greatly appreciated. So that's what I have to say on that. So thank you for joining us. I will say this, I don't know. I just thought about it just because of just how she was on this call. I mean, of course, you definitely made your points made. You definitely put your points out there. You expressed your feelings and what you believe and things of that nature. So kudos on that. But there's something that I wanted to give an example of before I go. So I was in DR, and of course we were out at a bar. It's me and a couple cats that I know, and there was these two girls that came from two black women.
Got on these $600, $700, $900 wigs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm hearing the background. Sorry. These two black women came. They were in DR. They were vacationing too, and they were there, and we were having a conversation just like this. And I lie to you not, because of how receptive and because we were able to have conversations like just like how we're having now. Most of the guys that were in that conversation were not paying attention to any of the other women that were there.
Wow.
They were more in tune, like, man, she's actually listening to what we got to say. And you know what? I want to take her home. I want to date her. Like, and they're in a whole nother country, surrounded by all the women that they say that, you know, are better women. But because a black woman was receptive in the midst of that, they just let all of that other stuff go and was like, yeah, I want to talk to her. Yeah, forget all of this. I want to get to know this person because she's actually listening to me. So that's all I got to end with, guys.
Thank you. You guys have a wonderful evening.
No problem, Jemai. So we're going to close you out with you. So you got 3 minutes. Share your thoughts, your comments, your whatever.
This was a lot to take in. I really wasn't expecting this tonight. Like I said, I just accidentally clicked the link. As I said to everybody, it was really nice to.
So what did you learn from all this? I mean, this is your first time on the live stream, and because literally we had a lot of people looking from Facebook and YouTube. We had a lot of views, and they were listening. And I mean, what did you learn from all this? Your first time doing a live stream, and I definitely recommend you starting a podcast. Something, you got the voice. I mean, I have my headphones on and the mics. You sound crystal clear, and you sound sane compared to other folks out there. So
I've learned that men want to be heard, and we just weren't taught to listen. We weren't taught to do a lot of things, honestly. So, like I said, this was a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
To hear so many different personalities. Everybody pretty much said the same thing in a different way.
Yeah. One thing about the Passport Bro community, a lot of guys, we're not jaded as people think that we are. We're we have issues against black women. Just these guys just checked out. They just done. So they're at a point now. It's like, okay, what can we do to educate the younger brothers not to make dumb decisions? So, and we want the black women to do the same. Like, okay, educate your sisters, your younger sisters, how to, conduct themselves. Because the thing is, there's a huge disconnect between black men and black women. And we need to figure out what the problem is, because it's not working.
It's not. It's not working, and it's unhealthy, and it's just going to produce more unhealthy people.
Yeah. But definitely, I want to add you on to another stream that I do. Probably keep it as an open forum discussion. It was a great conversation. I mean, like I said, I started off kind of ranting because I was kind of pissed off how the situation was with the other podcasts. And also too, like, guys talking about submission. I'm like, dude, you don't even got your shit together, man. How you expect a woman to submit to you? I mean,
hey,
like I said, I got sisters. So it's like between my older brother and me, there's like four girls between two boys. So it's just like, if my sister's gonna submit to a dude, man, at least have your shit together.
Right?
I mean, have a job. No, have some type of plan. It just, but a lot of guys get caught up by that. And I think, sometimes it kind of gives a negative outlook. And I know
you, Runway Boys. I like reading chats. I'm sorry, Kanal, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Pablo always making his comment. Yeah, it's just like for you to come into this lion den, and I may need to create a new like a new series, Lion Den, where we
Maybe
invite
so.
women come in and talk to the guys, and the guys are just gonna let it loose.
Yeah, but I can't do that ratchet and crazy either because, I'm an empath and I start to feel that energy and I'm like, okay, I'm overstimulated. This is enough.
You know what? You know what? The thing is, like, at least in my group, within like the Passport Bro movement, we're very like chilled. The thing is, like, don't call us out. It's just like don't poke the bear. But at the same time, we're very chill. Like, we just want people to hear us out. It's like, okay, this is how we feel, and we just want to let it out, and that's it. But besides that, it's what it is. Pablo just said something. Nice, a lion den. Yeah, man, Pablo, I'm thinking about doing that, man. The lion den.
Well,
And
what came to my mind too, Kanal, is like I want to take this information from you guys and share this with other women and we can kind of piggyback off of each other because like I said, this is a lot of information that a lot of women just don't know. It's not a normal discussion on a day-to-day basis.
But the thing is, our Black women are willing to listen without being combative.
I think the loneliness that Black women are suffering from at this point, some of them are willing to listen. Like me and some other women, we may just be the little 2% of Black women that are left that wants to heal, that wants to hear what you guys have to say. Two of my friends last night, I was out at the cigar bar and I went to 2 different cigar bars and I was looking sexy as a mug last night. Like I really went out with intent to like go for the juggler last night. And you wouldn't believe not one freak. I went to 2 cigar bars. Not one Black man approached me.
Why?
I don't know. And it was the same thing. It was the same thing with my friend. It was the Hispanic men that just like bloop, all over us.
Wait. Okay, so the brothers were not approaching, but the Hispanic men were.
The Hispanic men were.
Guys,
and I was out.
One second. Guys, if you're listening, Jemiah is very attractive, guys. Extremely. I actually met her because I was trying to what I mean.
Oh, goodness.
But I'm just saying, it's just like, hey, she's very attractive, man. So you're telling me that the brothers were not attracting you, were not approaching you, but the Latinos were.
Right, and I went in because I was out in Weston. I don't know where everybody is, but Weston is a prominent upscale neighborhood in South Florida.
Yeah.
So when me and my friend Toy decided that we were going there, I was like, okay, we're going to Weston, so I'm gonna like step it up a little notch. I took the jewelry out and everything, like, okay. And I walked into the lounge and I was like, oh shoot, is brothers here? Like, okay, cool. And I made sure not to walk in with the angry Black face and the mean mug and then
it's called what? It's called the resting bitch face.
The resting bitch face. And I mean, I really do naturally have the resting bitch face. So I really had to dig deep not to have the resting bitch face. So, I was just like nodding and smiling and they were just like, I was like, okay, let me sit my Black ass on down over here and just like stay away. So anyway, the Spanish men were very welcoming to us and they, hey, would you like a drink? And, great conversation. And, they were pretty high value men too. And not one time did they ask us like, what do you do for a living? Or, it was just really simple, easy, lighthearted conversation. Then I skipped over to the other cigar bar in Pembroke Pines. And there were like a couple of guys that I was like genuinely attracted to. And It was just like nothing, no conversation. Not even one guy offered to buy me a drink. I actually sat and observed, and I was like, I'm not going out looking for anybody to buy me any drinks. You know what I mean? Like, I have my own money. I got my credit cards. I mean, like, I'm drinking tonight. I'm out treating myself. This is an outing for me.
Yeah.
But the fact that every man waited for me to like go buy a drink first, it was like, okay, I see her going to the bar. I'll go to the bar, get a drink, and I'll come back with my drink. And then it was like, oh, hey, how are you? Where are you from? It's like, what? So, that was
okay. Let's get to the bottom root of all this. Why black men are not approaching black women?
Maybe because of all the things that you guys shared tonight. And it's sad because it affects all of us, because just because you have that experience with this black woman doesn't mean that I'm that way. But a lot of people are timid now and afraid. Like 3 women this week, we've all boisterously shared that I am afraid of black men at this point. Like, I want nothing to do with them. They're toxic.
That's what they said?
Yeah, including myself. Like, I was like, I've had enough. I was like, I think I need to take a step back to reevaluate a few things that I may be projecting. And then also, it was a lot of things that you guys have made clear that has provoked a lot of thoughts of where I've been going wrong. If that makes any sense.
It makes sense. But the thing is, it's like there's a growing trend where black men are no longer approaching black women due to the fact that all the shaming, all the embarrassment men experienced in the past, but also too is just people with the quick Me Too movement, the harassment issues, whatever. A lot of men had just taken a step back, like, you know what, fuck it. I'm not gonna make an effort. I'm just gonna go ahead and go out, have me a couple of drinks, have me a smoke, enjoy myself, and take my ass home.
Yeah, but then, like we said, the culture here, you got it where you can put a man on child support. Okay, if you put him on child support, we'll give you food stamps. We'll give you cash assistance. We'll tax his ass later on and make him pay for all of the cash and the government assistance that you've been getting. So this also removes the black man. Well, fuck you. I don't need you. I'm getting free groceries from the government. I'm getting Section 8. And whatever other benefits that come along, I could go search for the government to take care of me versus the need of a black man. And then, even with the conditions of housing, they have these income restriction homes now where they say, okay, well, we'll make it more affordable for some of these black women, but you can't make this much. And we need to know everybody that's living in this house. And, a lot of black men have been caught up in prison systems. It's a lot of men that have been Pookies and Ray Rays that no longer wants to be Pookies and Ray Rays, and he wants to provide. But guess what now? He can't move into this apartment that's affordable to help support this black woman and to support her family and to support his family, because why? He has a criminal background.
Yeah.
You can't stay here because you got a gun charge, or you can't stay here because you got a weed charge. And, now that weed is legalized, you got everybody capitalizing off of that versus people that have a criminal record because of it for selling weed, so it's a lot of factors. It's a lot.
Let me ask you this. I think a lot of guys are quite curious to know. For these so-called educated lames out here, these are your nice guys, the guys who did everything the right way. They went to school, they didn't get arrested. They're not the Pookie and Ray Rays. They work the typical 9 to 5. They're not your entrepreneurs, 9 to 5 guys, nice guys. why they're not getting any attention? Why they're not getting appreciated by black women compared to women outside our race?
I believe it's a confidence issue. It could be. That's like I met somebody the other day. He works at the post office, so he's 9 to 5 guy, but he's a workaholic. Every conversation that I've pretty much had with him has been about work, 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 work. Okay, so I'm going to be on the listening end of that. He's very soft spoken, and it's like I have to constantly beg him, like, I can't hear you, like, speak up, or, I need that energy. Like, I need a little spunk too.
Okay. So the spunk will be what? The aggression?
I won't necessarily say aggression, but I met him almost 2 weeks ago. He hasn't made any plans like to go out or any arrangements to meet up with me. I think he asked me to come to his job, and it's like, I don't want to visit you at your job if you're somebody that I'm like. So that kind of like threw me off. You get what I'm saying? So I was just like, okay, I'm not coming to see you at your job. Like, just no. Even if it's for a coffee, I'm not in a place where I'm trying to be pretentious where you got to go take me to Capitol Grill or Ruth Chris somewhere to, impress me, to show me, where your financial status is or who you are or whatever. Like, even if it was like, hey, babe, you want to go out and meet me Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever.
I'm taking your ass to Chipotle, IHOP.
And I love Chipotle.
I know you do. That's why we're going to Chipotle. It's like I'm not doing no Ruth Chris. That's a plane ticket. It's just like, but I mean, the thing is, a lot of guys, you have a lot of well-to-do black men who are straight laces. Like they done everything right. They went to school. They followed the law. They worked hard, but yet they feel underappreciated because the women, the sisters that they want, don't want them. They want the Pookies and Ray Rays, the dudes that ain't doing shit. So these guys are feeling some type of way like, yo, I did everything the right way. I went to school. I bettered myself. I got a good credit, but yet I'm still not desirable. What's wrong with me?
Also, Pookies and Ray Rays is a lot of what all of these women know. Like, come on, for instance, I'm out of Bunch Park, Carroll City, Liberty City. Pookies and Ray Rays are all that we've seen. Like, and to be quite honest with you, where did my first athlete I dated was when I was 18. 19 years old. Like, had I not had that experience, I may have still been interested in Pookies and Ray Rays. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I was a straight lace college kid until I graduated. I became more aggressive. That's when I started getting ass. Like, the more aggressive I became, get one night stands became so easy. It was just like, I think I went through a stage where I didn't give a fuck. It's like, fuck it. I'm just gonna shoot my shot, say what the fuck I want to say, and each time I was an asshole, I got more ass. It was just weird. I was like, damn, I was kind of mean to her. Like,
but that's really toxic, and that means that that woman is drawn to rejection. It's nothing about a man being an asshole or rejecting.
I know, but it was like fucking every woman would giving up to me. I'm like, my time in Chicago, I was like, damn, okay. Is this that easy, huh? All right, cool. Wow, we just lost Jemiah. Hey, Jemiah, I hope you could jump back on. But wow, this has been a great conversation. I kind of like the direction that we could take this. I kind of like the whole Lion's Den convo where we could actually invite women to. Hey, I kind of lost you there.
Yeah, I jumped out somehow, but I'm back.
No, that's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing this more often, called the Lion's Den, where bring a woman in and get surrounded by men. It's like, I mean, hopefully it's not a sexual innuendo behind that. It's like you're about to get jumped on, and hope you can handle yourself.
But guess what? That's a good time to some women. So you never know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, any last comments? Anything you want to say to the audience, or
No, I just appreciate everybody for listening in and their comments. I really love the chats. I like reading them as we're talking.
yeah, yeah. Oh, trust me, I think it's gonna be more. I mean, the comments were really good. It was really good. Like I said, have been the most viewers and participants that I had since I started this live stream. But I'm growing. I'm growing, so it's all good.
I didn't even know about this. So this is the platform that you use to go live on Facebook
And YouTube.
And YouTube.
Yeah, I can actually go live on Stitch as well. There are other social media. There's like other social media platforms I didn't know about that I could go live on. So what I may do during the week is schedule accounts with, create accounts with those, and just go live and grow my audience, because I didn't know there's like multiple social media platforms where you could just do a live video.
But what about Instagram too?
Instagram, you have to do it differently. You have to do it separately.
You have to actually go live on
on Instagram. Yeah, because StreamYard doesn't have the application. Now, this is where my nerd side kicks in. StreamYard has different integration endpoints where it allows you to actually integrate your video with other platforms. So, like with Facebook and YouTube, it's integrated with StreamYard. Instagram is not. So, I think in due time, Instagram will eventually be integrated with StreamYard. Then we could go live all at the same time. But right now, when I go live on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, I appreciated this. This was definitely one of those. What do you want to say? What words can I use? It was one of those situations where it was meant for me to accidentally stumble.
So what made you do it and jump on? Because I'm like, when I saw you jump on, I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, what the fuck she wants? It's like, okay.
I was on YouTube.
Your ass about to get chewed out.
No. I wasn't worried about that. But what I was doing was I was getting ready to look at the news on YouTube. And then I seen that you were live. So I said, okay, Kunal's live. Let me just go watch him really quick. So I heard you guys talking about, the guys sizing each other up and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So then I seen in the chats the StreamYard. So I don't know why I clicked it. I just said click. And then it was like, do you want to join this and that? So it was like, okay, what am I going to like? I really didn't know what I was leading myself into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and that's why I texted you. It was like, yo, are you sure you wanted to go on live? I was like, are you sure? Because I got some damn sharks in here. It's
they were gentle sharks, which I appreciated that part of being. That was very masculine in a very good way. You get what I'm saying? Like very patient, very reserved, very stable, not all wacky, so that was really good.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely should do more of this. I think it's important that a lot of guys could, speak to a woman, get a woman perspective on certain things. But also too, I think this would be a great opportunity for you to like speak to other women about, our issues and why we're exploring our options and everything else. It seems like we lost you again, Jemiah. I'm gonna wait for you to jump back on, then we're gonna close it out. Oh, there you go.
For me to...
Yeah, we lost you for a little bit, so you're back on again. But it's 124. I mean,
I know.
Is there anything you want to talk about, or I mean, I could go on.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, cool, man.
We could do this again, though.
Yeah. I'll call you offline so we can talk about some things.
Okay,
but
cool.
Definitely. Any last comments?
Well, to the audience, thank you for being so welcoming, and I appreciate y'all.
Okay. Hey guys, just wanted to say thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to Black Man Travel Podcast. Know that we're a small content creator. I'm not a YouTuber. Just want to make that clear. I'm a content creator. But I really appreciate you taking the time to just listen to what we have to say. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the content. Let's get more brothers to get the passports and travel and see the world. And look forward to the next conversation. I had some really interesting topics coming into the pipeline for next week and the coming weeks. So we'll definitely stay in touch. But again, thank you so much for listening. And hope that my content is something that is a teachable moment. We can learn from it and pick up those passports and go, man. Live your best life. Be the best version of yourself, man. So if anything, thank you so much, man. Peace, love, and happiness.
All right. Good night.
Good night, everybody.